Another session of no sleeping.
Oh God.
All right. Session 20, here we go. So, last time, you guys were continuing your traveling, and you woke up from a long rest, except for Imric, who was terrified to sleep. As you rolled on the random encounter table for the day, you felt the weather all around you change, become frigid, and found yourself in an icy sub-zero temperature blizzard, which, was much to Geneviève's environmental favor. She didn't hate it. She's used to the cold. But you guys traveled around, getting lost a little bit, having no real positive survival instincts and rolls in the middle of that blizzard, and you got lost. You ended up on a mountain, followed the mountain up to where you had seen this large, um, this large ice castle. And upon traveling up the ice castle, here, I'll give you this one again for just for art funsies. You guys found this ice castle that you followed the mountains up, and upon entering it, you found some rest and respite from the the frigid weather. You investigated a little bit, and you were attacked by a cult worshipper follower of Thrym, who is one of the deities of Frostgiants. Um, and you continued your investigation through the fortress, where you convinced a skeletal bone, the living skeletal remains of a giant to, not attack you. And continuing on through there, Imric kind of traveled off on his own a little bit. You guys kind of did some maneuvering through this place. Imric convinced a younger skeletal giant not to kill him, which was nice. It worked out. You guys made your way up to the roof, where you kind of investigated the room a little bit, and as Geneviève and Marin were discussing what they were seeing in the room, Imric decided to slide on out into the main portion of the roof, where he hit a big patch of ice and slid across the roof and landed on his butt. Pretty quickly after that, a white dragon appeared, and completely encapsulating Marin in its icy breath, who was revived quite hurriedly by Geneviève, and Merrick pulling just the wildest thought out of nowhere suggested that the dragon stop attacking you, fly you to safety, leave you there, and never attack you again. Well, the dragon failed the save and agreed, um, halting his assault on the three of you, which could have very potentially led to your demise. Flew you guys very quickly from the roof of the castle, leaving your horse and your cart behind. Um, he flew and flew and flew for about 7 hours of this 8-hour spell, dropping you guys off. And after that, Marin summoned some eagles to fly additional time frame. You wanted that extra hour so that the dragon could for sure get away and leave you guys in peace. Well, I did the math, and you guys on Dragonback flew 127.3 miles. On Eagleback flew 18.2 miles, flying for a total of 145 and 1/2 miles away from where you just were.
God
Yeah,
damn.
you
Wow.
guys went on a trip. So, you guys now find yourself, because you were pretty much a couple miles outside of Willand over here. By a couple miles, I mean like 15, 20-ish, because you had some little leeway over there. But you guys find yourselves now 145 miles. You're about here in these two square blocks. So you just flew the safest spot you could find, which was directly west. Um, so you guys land off of Eagleback, and it is the afternoon. You guys still don't necessarily have an idea of where you are, but you guys are out in an open clearing. You found a easy to land in open clearing, and that's where you find yourselves now.
And what approximate time of day is it?
Mid-afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah,
So there's no navigating by the stars that I can try to do.
correct.
I mean, I will try to navigate as we kind of start taking
Well,
off.
I more just meant to figure out like where we were.
Well, we have the sun.
Yeah,
we can go in a direction.
yeah, that's exactly. The sun tells us north, south, east, west. I was thinking more like could I use like the position of the star? Have we? Anywho, I don't think
I
Jean's
got
actually
you.
smart enough to do that. So never mind. We got a Jean isn't smart enough to do that within 2 minutes of starting the game, guys.
Y'all can go ahead and roll me perception checks if you want.
Yes.
Wait.
Solid 1. 12. 15.
Did that one
Jean,
come through?
you're in an open space. You are out in a field somewhere. To riz in a with. So with the 12, nothing necessarily looks super familiar, but you know with your 12 that you and Marin both know that you are not in the Principality of Fae anymore.
Oh, jeez.
The magic around you is very lacking compared to the environmental magic of before. Um, and with a 15, you look around, and the roads do look a little bit more managed here. They're not necessarily paved super well maintained, but they look like there are more traveled roads around here. And as you kind of walk for a little bit, you do find a posting, a big, like one of those. It's not so much a street sign, but it's like a rock that's at the side of at the catty corner of two roads that are crossing that kind of points in different directions. One of them says Vasquet and points very much north, 100 miles, about 110 miles northeast-ish, and the other one says Eldoria. You're actually closer than this. I mathed a little wrong. You guys are actually here. Eldoria, 15 miles this way. Yeah, so it's about 130 miles to Vasquet, 15 miles to Eldoria, and then there's another line on it that just says to the wild north, and it just points this way, and it just says 150 plus miles. So you're a lot closer to where you were trying to go, but you're not quite there. So
This dragon was so helpful.
And you know about 15 miles is about a half a day's journey, so you could, in theory, push through to this place you're aiming for in half a day's travel if you so chose.
I mean, when you say you did a calculation, is it 3 of my level 3 spell?
So it would be, hold on, I think I have it in my phone, because I did the math earlier for your eagles. You can do 96,000 feet per hour with your birds. Feet to miles. You can go about 18 miles in an hour with your birds. So you could effectively fly to where you need to fly in one more use of your birds, because you're about 15 miles away. So you could get, if you spent the whole hour flying, you would actually fly over it by 3 miles. But you could certainly fly there.
Yeah, that
one
will.
cast.
I mean, as long as it's within. So
Yeah.
this is my first level. Sorry, first third level spell slot, and
So
when I'm using my second one.
yes, so this would be your second, because I know you guys decided to only fly for 7 of the 8 hours on the dragon, send the dragon back, and then you flew for an hour using your birds, which brought you to where you are now, rather than further, and so you're about like 15 miles away, so another hour of birds would get you about 18. That's just that's them using their movement and their fly speed and their action to dash. If you only wanted to use their movement, it would be half of that, which I assume you don't. I assume you would use both if you're traveling. So if you guys wish to, but you also haven't rested at all since your attack by the dragon. So if you want to take time and short rest, or if you wanted to just continue right on, you have that ability, the choice, as the kids say.
Well, the
is
other two
yours.
can probably, like, I don't know, I can do concentration when I'm doing short rest.
You cannot. But you can, if you guys want to take a short, if you're going to be traveling by bird and you guys want to take a short rest, you can
If
certainly
you
do that.
if you suggest that, I really want you guys to know that this is coming from a place of love and from Jean's point of view. But Jean is gonna glare at you like, didn't you just almost die? And like why don't we just rest? Like, if you say that in character, like, oh, they can just rest on the thing, Jean's just gonna glare at you like, perhaps we could just take an hour and rest so that you are not such a wimp.
Well, if the thing is, if I by the end of the first spell, or when the spell ends, if we want to spend some time and if there's somewhere that's available to land, then I will try to land and we can take a break. If not, I will just keep flying. If nowhere below us seems landable or safe, then I will just keep going.
Right, but what if we just stay here for however long it needs, so that you are not fucking dying?
I mean,
I do not want. I could have gotten a great hit on that dragon, but no, I had to spend my time picking you off the ground because you were dying.
Yes, because it took me off from full health, or whatever in character context that would be. One breath, and there's nothing I can do.
And that's why we should just relax for a little bit. I
mean, like, out of character, are you back at full health? I forget. Did you?
I am half health. And by the way, I just realized that I cannot wear medium armor anymore. Sorry, carry on.
So, like, out of character, in character, Jean doesn't want you to die. This is how she shows you that she loves you, is by telling you to take care of yourself.
Out of character, die.
Out of character, I mean, do it. Out of character, I'm totally fine with this as a plan. In fact, out of character, I think it makes sense. In character, this is how Jean is showing you that she likes you guys, is by telling you guys not to die.
Okay. As long as, like I say, as long as there's a place to land for.
Yeah, I mean, where you guys landed after your first cast of the spell, it's a bigger open field area. You can see all around you. You definitely have the ability to short rest if you want, or if you want to re-up it, bring eagles and take off again, you certainly can do that.
Yeah,
we're in a really nice meadow right now with tall grass, a nice breeze coming in, the sun laying down on us. And I don't know about you guys, I just spent the last 8 hours sweating my balls off, concentrating on this spell. I could use a little bit of a rest. Just a little.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, we can definitely.
If we are worried about a dragon coming to follow us, I think it can outfly the eagles anyway. So I don't think an extra hour or two or whatever it is, I don't know time,
My spell is fading in 2 minutes. Decide now. We are 3,000
Let's go
feet in
down.
the air. Okay, fine.
There's a
You go
beautiful
walk
meadow, as
down.
Hillary has stated.
You guys land in a meadow, and that's where you find that rock that you see on the ground. There. So you have time. You can certainly take a short rest if you wish.
Short rest.
Yeah.
Marin is definitely taking a short rest when switching to a new character sheet.
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
And with my short rest, I'm going to use my new feature, Sorceress Restoration, giving me 3 more sorcery points.
There you go.
Is studded leather armor a
It's light.
medium?
Yeah,
Okay, thank
it's
God.
light. I'm
Because-
pretty sure because rogues use studded leather.
No,
So yeah, we'll
I
just
am
say
wearing chain
we'll just say-
armor.
what is it? You're wearing chain armor.
I'm wearing
Yeah,
chain. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, fuck me, then.
What's the AC of chain armor?
It bring my with a shield. It bring my total AC to 16.
What's studded leather's bonus? Isn't it 12?
Like 11 or 12. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, because right now you're getting 14 total from your armor, and 2 from
Yeah.
the shield. So
Sorry, Alex, this is something I should have paid better attention to, but I'm assuming that the reason that I have 9 hit points on my sheet is from my ability that no longer is active, right?
your temporary
There's not
one?
another reason that I'd have temporary HP right now?
Correct. It would have been
Yeah.
from your stacking of your charisma.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So studded
That's-
leather gives you 12. Yeah, so you'll basically end up losing. You're only losing 1 from your AC, from your armor differential, because studded leather's 12, and chain is 13. So you don't go to 15, but you know, we can always work on getting you some better armor too. Those are certainly things that are possible.
I would also like some better armor. Sorry, this is out of conversation.
Well, you guys are headed to a city. There might be stuff there that you can acquire.
Jean cannot afford plate armor. She just wants it.
Wait,
Just-
I think I have 10% of the overall gold you need for plate armor.
Just glue plates to yourself and call it plate armor.
Will that
mean-
give me a better AC?
It would give you a funnier persuasion and intimidation.
Also,
AC?
apparently, there's somewhere wrong. Well, somewhere happened during the character sheet creation that I have +8 to nature instead of +3, like before.
I'll figure it.
Because I think
I'll
I got
figure it.
advantage-
Yeah,
I-
I'll compare them after the session, and we'll figure it out, and we'll get it all right.
Yeah.
So, I ain't too worried about it right this second. So, if we have to use your
Yep.
old skill set for now, we will. We'll make it work. But you guys take a short rest without any issue. You can complete that. Emmerich, roll me a Constitution saving throw to see if how you're still feeling for sleeping.
Oh god.
The short rest too?
Am I within 10 feet of him?
Yes.
So it's a +3 with G?
Yeah.
I got a 10.
Do you have that ability that lets you burn sorcery points for your D4? Or is that the old? Or am I thinking of another type of sorcerer?
Wait. I think, isn't that only for ability checks? I don't think it's saving throws. Alright, for a D4. Hold on, let me look at my trait. Is that an old rule or is it new?
I think I'm thinking of something. I'm thinking of Divine Soul. Yeah, because you can use 2d4 to add that, and you can also, and then Wild Magic has it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of the Wild Magic ability.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
So, you guys see, as you're on this short rest, that everything kind of calmed down, and Emmerich starts to like relax after concentrating for 7 of the last 8 hours on magic. You see Emmerich start to doze off a little bit. Now, so here's what we can do. You both know he does not want to sleep. So
I was gonna say, I think I'd hit him.
you can either hit him awake, or he can roll another save to see where we're at. So if your immediate thing is just to smack him awake, he'll just take whatever your unarmed damage is. Just bam.
I'm pretty sure, like, Jean knows that you're gonna need to sleep eventually, but also, like, I feel like Jean on this short rest would be like, hey, don't fall asleep. We're not actually long resting. This is just like a chill time. And Jean knows you don't want to sleep, so I think Jean would just hit you. I'm sorry about the attack,
No,
but
dude,
like,
perfect.
do you want me to do an unarmed strike?
Yep, it'll just be
Hell yeah.
it'll just automatically hit if you're
Oh, okay.
letting Gene hit you, which I assume you are.
Yeah, no, of
Cool.
course.
Yeah, you just take whatever the unarmed damage is from Gene, which is what?
Uh,
6.
Oh, you're gonna
Wow.
hit me. Yeah.
You get cracked.
Hey! Wake up! Hey,
Damage.
Yep,
Oh.
6.
Okay.
You start to, as you were like dozing off right before you got snapped awake, you started to feel like your brain and mind start to wander.
Oh.
if
Good.
Jean was nicer, she'd be like, "Hey, you all right, bro?" But I think she's just gonna like stare at you like, "What the fuck, man?
Oh,
Sleeping?"
thank you, Gene. I appreciate
I
it.
will smack you in the face anytime.
Thank you so much. I am not trying to meet Thursday today.
Not time to meet your Thera's doom.
That's too good. That is
Gene,
too
since
good.
when did you become funny? What?
I'm
Who taught you how to do puns?
good question. Good question.
Do I get? I don't get a level of exhaustion, do I?
I think you do from before. So we'll say you're at 1. We'll say you're at 1 level of exhaustion right now.
Yeah, I'm at. But for the con save right now that I failed, the
No, that was to keep yourself awake. That wasn't for exhaustion.
Okay.
For exhaustion purposes.
sweet. Sweet.
I don't think either of you guys taught Jean how to do puns, so I don't know.
Just a natural at it.
I think I think I am just becoming, how you say, naturally more charismatic.
Oh.
I will say though,
There's.
because you did fail the save, even though you're awake, the DC has increased by 1,
Yeah.
and the
Okay.
DC is now currently 16. So. just so you know.
There's new rules to exhaustion.
There are. It would basically mean that you have a negative number of exhaustion points to your roll. So if you have exhaustion 3, you now have
Oh my
-3.
gosh.
-5, -6, you just die. But
Wait, no.
you don't die from exhaustion anymore?
No, you do, but it's when you make a D20 test, the roll is reduced by 2 times your exhaustion level.
Oh, snap, it got even
So
harsher.
any saving throws, any ability checks,
Uh-huh.
any attack roll,
So
2.
you would have
And
gone
then-
down by 2. Yeah. So
And then also with that, your speed is reduced up to a number of feet equal to 5 times your exhaustion level.
you have 5 feet. You're 5 feet slower.
Yeah,
Which
so I have
is-
25 movement speed, and I just have a -2 on all my rolls.
For now.
That's
Now, once you eventually sleep, it
crazy.
will reset. But your current con save to stay awake is now increased to 16 because you failed the save and you were slapped awake. So, and you've been flying though, so you didn't really got to worry about walking. So.
That's insane. Okay,
I know.
cool. Wow. And then yeah, at 6, I think you still die.
Yeah.
You die at 6.
Cool. All right, so your guys' short rest goes by without any major complications other than you almost falling asleep but getting smacked awake. You have the rest of the afternoon and evening to travel if you so choose. It is middle of the early to mid afternoon right now. Weather is nice and clear outside. You're in the middle of this just soft, grassy little field that you could just hang out here and enjoy it. There's sunflowers off in the distance. The grass is about shin high. It's super soft. It kind of looks like a place where it would be a great place for grazing animals to live. Cows, goats, things like that. It's a very soft, grassy, just comfortable kind of area. So.
Hell yeah.
But that also means there could be snakes and bugs and other critters that are in knee-high
No.
grass. So, you haven't seen any, but inevitably, there are things that are going to live here. It is the outside.
So is the group wants to walk or do we want to fly?
Oh,
Oh, I think that we should fly if that is an option. I just thought that
Oh.
perhaps we should all be at
Yeah.
full strength just in case.
Okay, yeah. The
Did you want to
birds
roll any hit
show up.
dice, Marin, while you were resting?
I probably should. What is it?
Takes a
D8
rest,
for me?
does nothing for resting. You also get a wild shape. You get all your wild
Do-
shapes back if
Yeah.
you. I don't know if you used any of your wild shapes, but you also get them all back on a short rest. So you get that plus whatever your Constitution modifier is for each of your dice. So
Do I
have
get to
+3.
roll hit dice after
It-
Jean hit me?
I'll say the hit could come before you roll the dice, but you can roll them after that if you want to. Yeah, you get to roll dice because you're just sitting there awake, just kind of relaxing.
Okay, so I do get to heal.
Yeah, you get to heal. Nothing's stopping you from it. You just take 6 damage from getting smacked upside the head.
Perfect.
Cool. All right, and then are you going to be using your spell to summon eagles to fly on?
Yes, I will use another third level to summon 2 giant eagle.
Cool. How many do you get at level 6? Is it 2 third level spells or is it 3?
I got 3 third level spell.
That's right. Then you get a 4th level spell stuff at level 7. That's right.
Yep.
Cool. You summon an eagle for each of you all. If anything, this, to me, I like to envision it that the one that you ride on, Marin, is a little flaming and fiery. Just in it's like almost phoenix-like. I imagine that Imrik's is, to the naked eye, looking at it from the ground, it just looks a little off, almost like it's decomposing mid-air, but it just looks weird. But it's very sinewy and flies just fine. Doesn't feel weird, but to everyone else it looks weird.
Spoopy AF.
And I
Yeah.
imagine that Jean-Fiev's is like a war eagle.
Well, I can only summon 2,
Oh, 2.
so Emir and I will be sharing,
Oh.
right?
You have to be sharing a bony fiery one.
You know, that's actually a pretty awesome image, though. A bony, fiery eagle to ride on. Hell yeah. And then a war eagle. But you guys fly, and you see in the distance as you start to get within a few miles, you can see it way off in the distance. You see that first thing you start to feel it. Those of you who are very in tune to magic, so Marin and Emmerich, you start to feel just an increase in magical pressure in the area that you're flying to. Not like a bad pressure, just everything feels a little bit thicker as far as the air. It's almost like there's a fog in the air, but it's magic that's there. It's like a denser feeling. Not as dense as it was before in the Fae, in the Principality of the Fae, but you can feel an increase in a magical presence. But it does feel a little bit more tamed and unpredictable. It feels like this magic that's here could be damaged, it could be corrupted, and it almost feels storm-like. But as you kind of fly down and get closer, you still have some time left on your flight, but as you're flying closer, you can see that there is a city encapsulated in this magical dome.
Ooh.
And
Okay, I think we should be landing very soon. This doesn't look safe to fly in.
But as you kind of fly down, you see that this whole area is kind of encapsulated and surrounded by this rocky terrain, almost like somebody cut out the bottom of a mountain range and built a city there. You see on one side of the city there is like a sheer rock wall that the city's kind of backed into, and there's this blue-green magical dome kind of swirling around the city, which you can kind of see through a little bit, as you can see on this image. But it looks like a big protective dome in a way. As you're getting even closer to the city, there is somewhat of a storm happening. Nothing super crazy, but you see some lightning off in the distance on the far side of the city. You hear some thunder. The air is kind of rumbling a little bit, and it does start to rain on you all when you're up there.
Has anyone seen that sort of fuckery before?
I've never even heard
Oh, wait,
of what this
Are
is.
we on Eagles? Has anyone seen that sort of fuckery before?
What?
I said!
at this point, you're hurting your head. What?
Yeah.
You, as far as like magics, the two of you have not quite seen this in practice before. You both know there are certainly protective magics out there. You all know of the School of Abjuration Magic, which is built for defenses, both personal and groups in cities and things like that. But on this sort of a scale, it seems odd, very powerful, and just out of place to be here. But as you fly down, you kind of see from the sky and a little far out in the distance there are campsites kind of set up on the outskirts of this city, kind of over here, and they kind of spread from here kind of just over this way. Not like a barrier to entry or anything like that. It's more of like a traveling shanty town almost. There are wooden cabins, some pop-up shops, tents, bigger like circus-sized tents with big leathery flaps that are being utilized as doors. But you see, it's definitely a small community on the outside of this encapsulated city.
Perfect. Do we want to land near there, Marin?
I will land slightly away from everything. I'll just find an open spot and then just make sure it is outside of the city.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely get on the outside of the city. And it is starting to rain heavier now that you guys are out here. Do you try to seek shelter in one of the larger tents, or are you just going to try and find shelter in like the natural land itself?
Were we gonna seek shelter? I was ready to just walk through this rain, man. It is just rain, right?
Yeah, it just feels like rain. It's just a colder, wetter rain.
And what time is it now? I forget how long we were on those birds for.
So it's it's almost dinner time.
Okay.
With the break and the flight that you guys took, it's only been a few hours since you got off. It's been a total of 3 hours since you hopped off the dragon. So you've flown hundreds of miles in that time. So it is cross-continental travel in the short span of a day.
Perfect. I mean, yeah, let's go check out the town, guys.
I think it is not quite bedtime yet. I think we go straight in.
It's never bedtime, Gene.
Well, it will be for you eventually, and then you will die.
I'll be able to fight theirs, dude. You don't gotta. I'm not gonna die.
Without me? Come on.
You'll be in the dream again. It'll be okay. You're gonna save me.
If you get knocked down, how will you get back up again?
I don't know. We're not gonna, because it's not gonna happen. We don't need to worry about it.
You are going to sleep eventually. You do realize that there is
No.
a hard stop.
Listen, Gene. The plan is. Do you want to hear the plan?
You know what? I would love to hear the plan.
We're gonna find some kind of herbalist or magic person in this town, and they obviously know magic, and they're gonna be able to help us with never falling asleep.
Are you going to find a coffee maker?
I don't.
Yeah,
Don't
if
know
you,
if
if
coffee
you want a
is going
coffee,
to
I can
be
just
enough.
make you a coffee.
I don't know if coffee is gonna be enough, but we're going to find something that will make me not be able to sleep.
You know, you are right. I was completely disregarding the fact that there are magics that exist in this magical world. I would like to remind you that we are in the less magical part of the world than we were, like, yesterday. So perhaps we are stupid? You know, maybe we know somebody who could have fucking made you some sort of potion of always stay awake, but no. We were all like, We have to get the fuck out of here.
Gene, we are working with the tools we have. I'm trying my best. I'm
I'm
tired.
working
I
with the
can't
tools
think
I have.
straight. We need to stay awake. That's all that matters. And we're gonna find someone here who can help us.
Right, let's go ahead and see if we can find someone.
All right. So are you guys walking towards the magical dome to go into the city?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you guys get closer to the dome, you kind of try to like walk around the outside of it a little bit, trying to find where the entrance would be. The closer and closer you get to this dome, it's a lot bigger in person than it is from the sky. Effectively, your token's like this big in comparison to the city, if not much, much bigger. Oh no, did I just make Marin too small? Oh good, I can make him bigger again. You are like normal
Enlarge,
person.
reduce.
Yeah, you are like normal person size, and the dome itself probably crests at about 250 to 300 feet at the very top. But as you guys are all getting closer to the dome and going to put out your hands, you all go ahead for me and make a wisdom saving throw, please. All of you.
+3.
Wisdom saving throw. A natural one.
+3.
A natural one.
+3 -2 for me.
Jesus.
That's all 12. Natural one.
Okay, cool. 12, 8. So, Genevieve is the one that passes, but you all hear it in your head. You're, wait, stop, you're gonna die! And the two of you, Imric and Marin, who fall under this mass suggestion, stop in place. And Genevieve, you just hear the, stop, you're gonna die, don't go in there. And you see your two friends stop, but you don't feel any obligation with which to do that.
Oh, interesting.
You passed the save. It was a DC 19, and you passed it. They did not.
Damn.
Can I see where it came from?
As you kind of stop and turn and look for it a little bit, you see flying overhead towards you is this small blue-haired, blue-mustachioed gnome who's just like, stop! Wait! Stop! You're gonna die! Don't go
I'm
in
gonna
there!
pull out my sword because the response to "you're gonna die" is "I'm gonna fight."
Not from me, from that! And they point at the big blue-green dome. Don't go in there. They are actively flying. They got no wings, but they're flying magically. And seeing that your sword's there, they don't care. They fly and they stop right in front of the dome, and they hold out their hands, and you see this 2.5 to 3 foot tall gnome standing in front of you, like, please, just don't do that. Don't go in there. You will die. Please stop. Please stop.
Is he right in front of us, like at the dome?
He basically stands. You can kind of see like this crackling of energy from the dome to the back of his attire. It's just kind of, it's like, you know, like the static electricity balls that you can touch your fingers on, and they kind of look like it looks like that between the dome and his back right now. Just
Sorry,
Could we
am I cutting out or is Alex cutting out?
You're cutting out.
Okay, BRB.
So, could we just like push him into the dome right now?
You could certainly try to.
I'm not going to. I'm just happy.
Okay, so
There's
little
a box.
blue guy told us, no, don't. Thing's gonna kill you. Basically, that's what I got.
Correct.
Very important, Gene. He became between us and the dome.
You guys are about 15 feet from the dome, and he's standing right in front of it, and you can see it kind of cracking between the two. So there's range between the two of you, but he's stopping you, or he tried to stop you before you walked any closer to said dome.
He wouldn't be quick enough if Gene just bulldozed straight towards him and pushed him into the dome. But anyways, let's move on from that.
You don't know how fast he would be, and if not, he would be able, if he could or could not get out the way.
Here's the thing: is that as much as like Gene didn't have to stop, Gene was still told like stop, you're gonna die, which like feels like it's worth at least like considering as a potential hazard.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's threatening, yeah.
No, and he his hands are held up, and you can see he's wearing these like wizardly kind of robes for this small little gnome man. He's drenched in rain now as he flew out here and flew through the rain. Look, 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 look. I have no problem with you. I don't want you to die, but I assume you also don't want to die. If you step through this magical dome, you will die. I don't know why. I haven't been able to fix it or figure it out yet, but this whole dome area, dome area, dumb, anyway, this whole dome area used to be easily traversable, but somehow, I don't know why, something corrupted it. And anybody who's been walking through there has just turned to dust, and if not dust, their flesh has melted off, and they've been a walking skeleton. I assume you don't want either of those things. Am I right in that assumption?
Emilek, do you want to be a walking skeleton?
Yeah, I think our friend actually would like to be that.
You won't
Wait.
be you won't be like an immortal walking living skeleton. You'll just be a moving dead skeleton floating. And you kind of see a skeleton floating by in the dome, and then it just goes off. Like that.
So you're
guy-
telling me that tower that looks a little bit concerned should be a little bit concerned.
Yeah, that guy. That was old Bob. Bob was a hell of a carpenter. Now he's dead. So don't be like Bob. Listen to me. I know what I'm saying.
Oh,
Can I make an insight check?
Oh,
Yes.
how long
please.
has this been?
At least a few months.
Oh, I would also love to make an insight check
Okay.
if I'm.
Are you checking on Bob the carpenter, or that he doesn't know how long this is, or how long this has been going
Oh,
on?
I wasn't specifically about Bob the carpenter.
Okay.
I don't screw Bob the carpenter.
He already
I
does.
want to know like, I was just the general vibe of like, is this gonna kill us? How long has this been going on? Like that kind of vibe of that truthfulness.
Yeah. You feel like with the sense of urgency that he is providing this information to you unprompted, and the fact that he magically tried to impede your movement to step into it, and you just saw a skeleton float by, that he's probably not giving you false information, because if he wanted you to walk through there and die, why would he have tried to stop you and is actively standing right there?
Because he's trying to confuse us.
Fair.
What does he look like? What's he wearing?
You see this little gnomish man. He is wearing this like yellow and green hooded robe with the hood down. Actually looks like this token. This guy.
He looks kind of angry.
He is a darker skinned gnome man with blue curly hair, long blue eyebrows, the ears, as you can see, the double handlebar mustache. He looks very similar to the gnome that you guys met back in Swazoo. That's what he immediately reminds you of, who ran that magical games shop that turned into the bowling alley.
Oh no.
He reminds you of him, but they look a little different in their facial features, enough where you like maybe they're distant relatives. And
I was
he
gonna say,
sounds
can I ask him if he's related to that gnome in Swazoo?
You're gonna make me look up that guy's name now, aren't you? Yes, you can.
If I had the notes from my old character sheet, I could be able to tell you.
I can probably tell you here in just a minute.
Not Galza? Nope, that's a wrong town. Wrong town.
Wrong town.
Sorry. I just saw I saw the word gnome and was like, hey gnome.
Yeah, that might have been how it
Not-
went, actually.
Adriel.
No,
That's a different person in Swazoo.
correct. I don't know. I can't find the notes with the name on them. I don't think we actually ever wrote them down. Anyway, but you asked if they're related, and he kind of looks at you for a second. It's like, no, I don't think so. I've lived here my whole life in this part of the world, so yes. Anyway,
Gene, that's a little bit racist to ask. It's a little bit insensitive.
oh no, it's okay. A lot of us gnomes look the same, so the confusion is real. I mean, I get it. For a lot of other species, it could be considered that, but for gnomes, there's like maybe 20 clans. So inevitably, somebody will look like somebody else at some point.
Gotcha.
It's fine. I mean,
like
I don't.
approximately how many Goliath clans are there in this world?
You know of 3.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like Gene legitimately thinks that all Goliaths are related
Yeah, you know of 3.
for valid reasons.
And you know that typically they're not more than like 50 deep. So in your mind,
Yeah.
there are 150 Goliaths in the world.
Yeah. Okay. I really like when what I'm imagining matches.
Yeah. You've only met the ones from your clan. You've heard of two other Goliath clans, as there has been mention of them before. You've heard of them. You just never seen them or worked with them, but you know there are at least two other clans in the world, probably about the same depth as yours. There used to be many, many more a long time ago, and you all kind of lost contact, and you don't know what happened. So
Well, fuck those other giants. Yeah, I think when you say that like it's racist, I'm just gonna be like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm related to like a third of all the Goliaths, I believe. Related? I don't know. We don't really care about, I like quote marks, relations within the tribe. It's just sort of like everyone is your asshole family.
anyway, do we want to? He's looking up at all of you because he's very small. Do we want to get out of the rain or not?
Does this explain why there is sort of like a tent city outside of the city?
Oh yeah.
Also, why are there no fucking signs? If this is like a death trap, is it just your job to wait out here constantly in case some stupid people come by trying to go into the death zone?
No, I just happened to see you. I wasn't patrolling this area. Normally, people don't go out in the rain. And normally, people will stop at any of the houses or the buildings or the tent houses that are out here and kind of ask what's going on with the dome. People don't just go walking in through a dome. They kind of just, inquire. But maybe we should put a sign that says, hey, Death Dome, don't enter.
I'm just saying that not everybody is as sociable as we are, and we are already not that sociable. And perhaps it is worthwhile if you are trying to reduce the number of people who are dying. Granted, I don't care about reducing the number of people who are dying, but if you care, then you could do that.
I mean, sometimes. Not always. Actually, less often than you would think. I just happened to see you going by and figure I'd throw a suggestion to, hey, if you don't want to die, don't go in there kind of way, and here we are. You know how the last 5 minutes went. You were here. Anyway.
Yeah, you do not need to explain to us the last 5 minutes. That's a lot of magical power to try to save 3 random weirdos. Like, you could have just tried to be like, hello, Death Dome, without any magic.
I mean, I could
Or,
have.
like, notice us farther back. I don't know.
I could have,
Seems
but
like,
could you
how
hear?
did you get so magically powerful?
Oh, I'm a wizard.
Just to double check,
Mic drop.
This is the place that Sandor tells to come to, right?
You could ask. There's no signage outside of this exact place where you're standing right this moment, but you could certainly ask this person.
This is Aldoria, correct? We are in the right spot?
Oh, yeah, that's Eldoria right there. And he does the thing where he points behind him with his thumb. Yeah, but you can't get in from the dome anymore. But I could show you how to get there. You have to meet the boss first, but then you can get in there.
Who is the boss?
Oh.
And why does the boss know how to get in?
Because she controls the traffic in and out now.
Why is... Hold up, I am... Back up, beep beep, what the heck?
Liz, how about you take us to the dry spot you were talking about? The rain
Excellent,
is very
let's go.
annoying.
And he just starts walking. Good idea. Starts walking. He starts walking this way, and it's more of like he still has fly cast enabled, so he's kind of floating on the ground so his feet don't get dirty. He's just floating. He also, you notice, has to fly because his robe is so long that even flying 2 feet above the ground, it's still dragging like a wedding veil. He's got 20 feet of robe behind him. He's just got way too much robe for his body.
Damn. 20 feet.
Floats on in, and sometimes you see that it catches on a rock and gets like pulled back, and he goes, "Damn it!" And he grabs and like throws it around his neck like a scarf.
That is not the most practical of
Listen, fashion is not for the weak-minded. Fashion is it's hard work. It continues to float into this big tent house.
In like, what is fashion?
It's style, Gene. You know, like how cool you look.
He does not look cool when he gets caught on a rock.
No, he doesn't at all. But it's okay. Just he's being very bit to
Hospitable.
hospitality. Yes, he's being very that right now to us. So let's just like, just follow him for a bit. Don't say anything mean.
Don't say anything.
Don't say anything mean.
I don't
Who
seem to
the
really
fuck
know
I was
what that
mean?
means.
Don't comment on his fashion unless you want to say something good.
Well, oh, okay.
As you guys follow him in, you see that he floats through the front of this like circus tent sized big tent. The two very heavy leather flaps as kind of doors. He flies through, and you guys follow him in. And you see in here there is a whole menagerie of things that are going on. You see there are lots of different tables set up, at least 2 dozen. There are some people playing cards at one table. There are some people eating at another. You see there are some people crafting at other ones, whether they're drawing or sewing or doing like woodworking things. This is like the insides of what you would expect for like an outside city square. Lots of people doing different things. There's a person over on one portion of it cooking. There's a bunch of people sitting around reading a bunch of books. Some people hanging out and what looks to be babysitting, doing whatever they need to do to keep the children occupied. And you see that this little gnome guy floats over to what looks to be a big coat rack, flies himself up to it, and takes one arm out, basically hangs himself up on the coat rack and slides out of the robe and floats back down and kind of dusts himself off and lands on the ground, dispelling his own fly spell. He looks at the three of you, goes, "Come on, come on, come on, come on! Hungry? Thirsty? Want anything to eat, drink before you meet the boss? Anything at all?
Yeah, some food would be great. Thank you.
Awesome, great. Sit over there and I will have it brought to you." And he just points out just an empty table. That's kind of not, it's not directly in the middle of anything. It's kind of off to the side a little bit. It just an open table. It says, "Sit over there." And he walks over to a person who's cooking. This just looks like a larger human man, pot belly, about 5'10", balding on top, wearing a big leather apron, got burns on his hands. You see he's working with cast iron pans, cooking, frying up some things, smoking a pipe with an eye patch on. And he talks to him, gets some food ordered, stands over there for about 5 minutes. Then he comes back over to you guys, and you recognize Imric, that he's using the Mage Hand spell to help carry this platter that has all of your plates of food on it, and he's carrying 4 mugs, one for him, places them all on the table in front of you. It says, it's today's special. It is bullet stew and ale. So you each have some bullet stew available to you and just some run-of-the-mill ale. Nothing crazy good, nothing crazy bad, just kind of meh, drinkable.
As we sit down,
Mhm.
may I please recall, see if, or what do I know about Andoria, or what is Andoria like a significant city in the continent, and have I heard any rumor about shit like this happens at the city?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a history check.
Okay. +0. There we go. 4.
You've not really heard much or really anything at all about Eldoria. You've heard that it's one of the mid-sized cities on the continent. It's not like it's as big as a capital or anything like that, but you haven't heard anything specifically good or specifically bad about it. You did hear randomly that a dome popped up over a city at some point, and now you guess this is the one that you'd heard that they were talking about, but you didn't really have any thought as to why it would have happened. Never really thought you'd find yourself here, but here you are. Um, Nothing has really grabbed your attention about this place before, or, well, here you are now. So
This look like an oddly serious situation that they just let it happen.
he gives you your food, takes a big gulp. He goes, "Ah, so, what are you doing here? And what should I tell the boss to introduce you guys with? Like, how should I introduce you to the boss? Because she's gonna want to know why these 3 random people that I found trying to walk through the Death Dome, or as I've deemed it the Death Dome, as you've deemed it the Death Dome, Dome of Death, DOD, maybe. This for a self-proclaimed wizard, this man seems very scatterbrained and thought jumps from thought to thought to thought to thought to thought. Can't seem to like keep a solid train of thought going. Um, but anyway, that's closed. The way you'll have to go now is over there. And you see that he does the double finger point across the tent, and there are two guard looking guys, not like heavily armored or anything, but they're kind of sitting on two chairs that are beside a big trapdoor about 15 feet wide, about 10 feet from front to back. And they have, one of them has just a polearm leaning up against the tent behind them, and the other one just has like a dagger on the side. But they're both just sitting there, kind of reading their books, leaning back on their chair, sitting by this big trapdoor. That's the way you have to go. That's the now safely traversable underground tunnels from here to there and back again. You asked what the boss had to do with it. The boss is in charge of the transportation from one place to another. She has
That
the
sounds suspicious as
jurisdiction.
fuck the way you're all describing it. It's just like Ministry of Transportation. No, Gene, you wouldn't know what the Ministry of Transportation is. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well,
You sound sketchy when you talk about it.
she some people say that her business is illegal, but if the speaker of the city doesn't give a shit and employs her, I don't know what business other
Is
people
the
say about
speaker
it.
of the city, is that Velshun? Or is
Every
that someone else?
How the fuck is the city? Is there are living people in the city when the death dawn?
Oh no, the dome on
covering
the
it?
inside isn't dead. You just can't walk through it. It's not
Oh,
like
so you walk.
it's like a 20-foot thick wall, and it didn't used to be full of death. It used to be easily traversable with the right magics, but something happened and got corrupted. I don't know. I tried to fix it. I can't. I'm the one that made it, but apparently it broke. Anyway, what did you ask me again? Oh yeah, Valshun. He is the leader of the city. That is correct. And when you said Valshun, everyone kind of looked at you like, who are these new folk, and why are they saying the name of the speaker of the city? But when this little gnome man says it, they just kind of like, huh, okay, go back to their business.
Right.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird when I say it.
Yeah,
I got it.
because they've never seen your face before, and they've seen this dude plenty of times. But
I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember why I have in my notes Velshun, leader of the town. That's all I got.
I can tell you why as a character
That's
that
the
would
extent of
as
my
a,
that's
as
the
a
extent of
character,
my information from my notes.
as a character that would remember Sandor,
Sandor told us, yeah.
that they would have some information for you regarding that more than
Oh.
likely.
Oh, the book.
Mhm.
They
And
might
he's
know
like-
about the book.
Maybe.
Isn't he like pretty shady too?
Who, Valshun?
Yeah.
You don't know. All you know is that they're a connection to Sandor.
I'm
All they
pretty
know
sure
is that
Sandor-
Sandor told us to talk to him, so that sounds pretty shady, you know?
Yeah, wasn't he the guy? Wasn't he also doing like life extended things?
That's what Sandor told you.
Yeah.
Oh,
That means
That's right.
shady.
Is they doing things that Sandor does is being shady now? Because
Well,
like,
I think it was like the less shady version. It was for like a
gonna
different.
do some shady shit.
Slim
Do
Shady?
da do da. Hope I get away with it.
Okay, let's all come the fuck out there.
Um.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, so wait, out of character. Hold up for a second. I have in my notes Eldoria, where the other party was with the book. Valshun, leader of the town. Wintermoon, Tabaxi, friend Warren Knackle. And that's all I have in my notes, and nothing about why I have those people in my notes. Does anyone have any information to add before Alex tells me what the fuck my notes are about?
I'm
my
gonna,
note is currently charging, so I cannot say anything or write anything down.
I'm gonna
Mm.
load old character sheet. But no need to stop.
So, I'm gonna make a scientific guess that the dome goes underground.
Tabaxi woman called Wintermoon, a wizard
Yeah.
called Warren Knackle. She is a criminal, and they all know about the book. Oh, so Warren Knackle knows about the book.
Who knows about the book? Well, then we should ask him about the book.
Well, should we ask him about the book?
You don't even
I
know
don't
who
know.
this person is. You haven't asked them who they are.
You're
Yeah,
so right.
I know I'm so
Yeah.
right.
You're so right.
So what should I tell the boss? Who are you? Why you're here?
Do we? The question is, do we name drop Sandor? Or not?
No.
Okay, just double checking before I say anything.
I don't know. Should we go by our group name, guys?
I think this is the time to do it.
This is the
We
time.
are the inevitable doom.
Oh, you're Emmerich Genevieve Marin. Great. Yeah, Sandor. He reached out. I'm Warren Neckel.
Oh, you are one of the fuckers we are looking for.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess. But also, the boss is Winter Moon. She'll be here in a minute. She's finishing something up, so we can go see her when she's done doing her. She is a very busy lady.
Okay, so does everyone just know Sandor? You're Ward Knackle. Winter Moon is the boss.
No. So, listen. There's a hierarchy to this place, right? So, Valshun, top tier. Leader of the city. Boom, boom. So,
Top of the pyramid scheme.
top of the thing. Valshun's the big boss of the whole city. He's speaker. Does what he wants. We kind of work for him, with him, never against him. Bad choice. Don't do that. He's cool dude. Does weird stuff. Cool dude. Whatever. It's fine. I just stay out here and don't go in there unless I need to. When you get summoned, you go to work, then you come back home, you kind of do your thing, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I'm off topic. Anyway, so, Valshun, cool, tiefling guy, leader of the city. Great. Winter Moon, cool as fuck. Does the 3-finger okay sign and, winks with both eyes, cool as fuck. She's my boss. She is, cool and intimidating and a great boss if you don't mind.
Gina's mildly starting to get concerned about her being cool and intimidating.
I mean, she's intimidating in a kind of leans in real close and whispers, a professional killer kind of way. She's got a killer personality, if you know what I mean.
You're not helping the gay panic.
And me, well, I'm just a wizard. I do wizardy things. It's fine. Anyway.
Yeah, clearly. You're floating the airs and everything.
Well, you see these little legs? I don't walk very fast. I can fly way faster than I can walk, so I might as well just fly. And I keep my shoes clean, so, it works out.
But what is the point of keeping your shoes clean if your cloak is just covered in mud?
Listen,
and
fashion... He gets real stern. Fashion's
But
in
what
the eye of the beholder, and if you don't understand it, that's on you.
I do not understand why it sometimes matters and sometimes doesn't.
Because when I fly really high and I have this big stream behind me, it looks really fucking cool. That's why. It just
I
happens
agree.
to drag
It
on the
does
ground.
look cool.
So, I mean, I'm sorry you don't like my sense of style, but look at you carrying 13 weapons and a shield and all kinds of things. You look over encumbered yourself. Anyway.
I can carry so much more than what I am carrying. I could carry you and other things.
Well, I would rather you not carry me, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, that was just an example. You are something that I could pick up with Chef Elk, but that
I'm
wasn't
sure I
really...
weigh like a grand total of a heavy watermelon.
I could probably carry 2 watermelons.
I would hope you can carry at least a basket of watermelons. Who knows?
You are probably correct.
Anyway. I also knew you were going to be at the Dome, full disclosure.
Yeah, I'm now wondering if perhaps this was a setup, and my amount of trusting you has both increased and decreased at the same time.
No. I'm, kind of looks around, brings you in like a real close, group whisper. I am a divination wizard, so I can kind of tell the future. I just kind of knew you were going to be there. So, and I was told by the boss, don't let the, quote, inevitable, quote, doom go through the death dome.
Sorry, the quote mark goes halfway through? No, the quote mark should go all the way around. The quote mark, the inevitable doom, and the quote mark. I just need to clarify.
I just how it was presented. That is how it was presented to me. I don't know what to tell you. Talk to the boss. She's the one that got the thing from Sandor. Apparently, he's quoting you in that way too. Maybe you need to clarify with him where to put the quotation marks.
I'm gonna look over at Emmerich. Emmerich, the next time that you talk to him, you need to clarify where the quotation marks go. It is very important.
Okay, Gene. I will do that definitely.
All right. Well, so what are you doing here? I knew you were going to be here. I knew to look out for you. The boss didn't tell me exactly why you were going to be here. Just that, hey, use your powers of divination, figure out when they're going to get here, and make sure they don't walk through the doom of death. So, here we are.
We've been sent to find an ancient tomb around this
Not
area.
a tomb, a tome. You have to make sure
Tome,
the correct
right?
vowel.
An ancient tome.
A book.
You see that his eyes get real big, and the look of like. He goes a bit pale. His eyes get real big with like surprise, and then his brow furrows, and he gets real angry for a moment, and then kind of brushes off. Wait, are you looking for the same tome that got hijacked from us by that other shitty group a couple of weeks ago?
Possibly. I'm not sure.
Damn it. We wanted the tome. They happened to find it. We were trying to get it to give it to Valshun, but no, they had to steal it. Even though I guess technically they had it, they kicked one of our rangers into a hole, and then we had to get him back out of it. And then they came, and then they left overnight like a bunch of thieves, which they are, in the night, and I've been tracking them with my magical powers. Ooh, and
I was going to say, I'm imagining him doing like magical spirit fingers as he says that.
he was.
Is that correct?
He was.
Cool.
Angry magical spirit fingers.
As he's doing that, I just show up my hand and a tree splint like just come out of my hands and cast magic. I was like, you are not the only magic
You
caster here.
are
And
awesome.
I shoulder knock Imrik. I was like, do something.
I'm good.
You don't ever let anyone ever tell you you are awesome.
Maron give Imrik a dirty look. Like, why?
We do not need to have a magic power contest right now.
Magic tip measuring contest. Go.
We are A-okay.
Anyway, yeah, they came and they were supposed to meet with the boss again in the morning, but they decided, like a bunch of thieves, to leave in the middle of the night. And I tracked them, and we tried to get it back peacefully, and they ignored me. And then they somehow teleported over to damn Principality of Fae over there to some.
You're fucking telling me they're in the Principality of Fae? We were just over there.
They-
Couldn't someone have just sent you a message
They
and we
went-
got this information
It's
and we
fine,
would have been over there?
We just got kidnapped by a white dragon along the way. Don't worry about it.
Well, this
We
was
can
like
track-
this was way before Sandor and you were a thing, I guess. I don't know. This seems to be your thing with him. Seems to be recent. This is like a week or so ago, maybe more. But they teleported to some small little tree city called Swazoo or something dumb like that. I don't know.
Zoo.
But
Are
then
those
Gina
motherfuckers-
has flames on the side of her face. Heaving breaths.
well, now they're heading north to the friggin' north of the Principality of Fae, near the border of Vascan, up near the ocean up there, to go to some stupid little town to have some little cleric help them, quote, destroy the book or whatever. But I sent my assassins after them, and sadly enough, one of them died and the other one had to run away. But, they're stronger than I thought they were. They must have gotten more abilities or something.
They killed
Yeah,
well, I guess they're
probably.
assassins.
They killed one of my assassins, yes. Yeah, he wasn't honestly the best, so I'm not gonna miss him. It's fine. I can just hire
We're
another one.
dealing with
So
thieving
they have
murderers.
the book right now? Out of character, they have the book right now?
Correct. They've
Oh,
had the book for about 10 sessions. So, they've had the book for a while. Out of character. But, yeah. And you hear, as he's like explaining this and kind of looks off for a second about having to hire a new assassin, you hear some shuffling and some like conversation over his shoulder to the left, and you can see now coming from like a more secluded portion of the town, which had like basically like a curtain that was making like a private meeting room space, was pulled open, and you see now walking from there over to a what is equivalent to like what would be a throne, but made of like mahogany and purple cushions. It's a very oversized chair that looks like a cat would curl up and sleep on. And you see walking out from this meeting room is this about 5'9" cat-like creature with a really cool like fishing hat with her ears poking through it, a set of sunglasses, a bunch of daggers hanging off of her belt, 2 vials hanging off one side, and he looks over and he goes, "Oh, that's the boss." Yes, you'll get a picture. This is who you see. Bam.
Oh,
Told you.
Boy.
Cool as fuck. So
I need
she
to roll for gay.
she goes and sits down on this big oversized chair, crisscross applesauce style, and pulls up a drink and starts drinking it. And he goes, "Oh well, I think it's time that we can go see the boss if you want. Are you guys done eating and drinking? Hell, you can bring your drinks with you. Let's go." And he hops up, and he like little pitter patter feet just starts walking. Do you follow Warren Knackle over to the boss?
I think we do.
Sure.
Okay. You guys follow Warren Knackle over to the boss, and he looks up and goes, "Hey, boss, this is the group that Sandor reached out to us about. That let us know that they
We
were
are
on their
the
way."
inevitable doom.
Yes, they are
Jean started trying to say it like a cool entrance, and then like said it like as a question at the end.
They are
We are the inevitable doom.
Apparently, we put the quotation marks in the wrong place, and they go around the whole thing, not the quote inevitable end quote doom. I don't know. I don't know. That's a them thing, not me. Anyway, this is them. And he looks at you guys. "This is the boss lady. This is Winter Moon." And she nods and goes, "Pleasure to meet you. How can I help you? Welcome to my
I'm not going to lie. I think Warren gave us most of the information that we already needed.
Oh,
But it is still a pleasure to meet you. Je
well,
m'appelle Jean.
nice to meet you. I don't understand that first word, but I assume it means something along what your name is."
Oh, sorry. I'm not going to lie. The last time I met someone who was a talking cat, they spoke my language, and it was weird.
Oh.
Sorry. I am Geneviève,
Hmm?
and these
My
are
name
my
is
friends.
Rick. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all.
We still do need your help. You know we were sent by Sandor, right?
I have heard, yes, from Valshun. Yes, he told me that we were going to get a group sent from Sandor to assist in recovery of a tome that he needs to continue his work.
Yeah, that's exactly why we're here.
I'm not
And
going to lie. I do have questions about the Death Dome over the city, but that is honestly not my problem.
Yeah, we all kind of have those questions. Warren over here is supposed to be researching a way to fix it. And Warren looks up and goes, "Oh," he looks at you guys, "Well, that is my cue to, GTFO." And you just see, he just disappears. Just, bam. Just literally turns into a puff of blue smoke and is gone. Imric, roll me a, Arcana check.
Perfect. Why? Okay, it's just a straight D20.
Okay. 1.
Yes.
You have no
Yeah.
idea what specific spell this was, other than it's very likely some type of quick teleportation magic that just did him. He's nowhere to be seen in this whole place, so he's gone somewhere.
So it is
God
not
damn.
Misty Step.
Oh, he Winter Moon looks at you guys kind of like you're being inquisitive about his magic. He, for all of his, shall we say, ditziness and his magical fervor, he is quite competent and quite powerful. Today is one of his off days for his mentation. There are some days when he's perfectly clear and concise and can tell you everything without any distractions. But there are other times, like today, it seems, that all of the different clones of himself that he has made and split his mind into different portions to study multiple magics simultaneously all catch up to him at once. And yes, he does have magical ADHD. The way that I described
Sorry.
the way that I described him before to the other group, because they've also met him, is that the way that his magic, he is so focused on his divination magic that looking at so many futures at once broke his mind into multiple places, and there are some days where he can focus all of them into one universal truth for himself and can do everything, like she said, straight laced, straight narrow, no real issues. But there are other days when all possible futures that he can see at one time are all different personalities of his own going on at once, so he's actively like being hit with 10 to 12 different thought processes all at once all the time. So there are days when he's insane. There are days when he's straight laced. And this is one of his better days where he's leaning towards the insanity, but he can still kind of control stuff. There are days when he's just not lucid. He's just going everywhere and studying. But he can also study 7 spells at one time on those days.
God.
I'm a little scared of him. I'm not gonna lie. Jean isn't, but I am. You know.
Are we gonna be able to see him before, like,
Who? Warren
we leave?
or
We get,
Valsheen?
yeah. Warren, I'd like to talk to him again.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can. I can call for him whenever, and he will.
What do we need to talk to
Check
him?
your
We've
check.
already gotten the information we need.
For the sleeping problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Sleepy Boy does not want to sleep. Do you know any way we can fix that?
Yeah, I mean, you can drink a lot. I can give you a sleeping poison. I can help you get there if that's what if your goal is you're trying to sleep but you cannot. There are plenty of ways to fix
No,
that.
no. He is afraid of the dreams, and the dreams might kill him.
He's trying to stay awake, is what she's trying to say.
Oh,
He wants to stay awake forever.
why? And you see that she kind of curls up a little bit more in her big soft cushion. Napping is so nice.
I've had naps before. Trust me, I know they're lovely, but just for the next couple of days, couple of weeks, I just really don't want to. You know, nightmares and all that, PTSD kind of thing.
I mean, my specialty is helping people sleep forever rather than the
Oh,
opposite.
I'm also pretty good at that.
Yes, I can help you with
Relatable.
that, but I'm not sure that's what you're asking. I know that's not what you're asking for. But, um, as far as I'm aware, Warren is not one that could help with that. I mean, I guess he could create a mental bond between the two of you for about an hour and you could hear every voice in his head. That might keep you awake. But it also could drive you insane.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
He's done that with me before, and I don't know if you've ever had a migraine, but this is very close.
The second question, sort of related but different. Do you know if there is a way for us to like force ourselves into his dreams so he is not alone if he has to sleep?
Oh.
I don't actually know if that would work. I'm not going to lie, I do magic, but it is more of the type that helps you die than like
We are so off
King of
topic
the
of what
world.
we are here for, but keep going.
She looks at you in, like, with this look of inquisition, like, huh, are you a... I assume looking at you, you're very likely not of the cleric variety. I assume, based on your stature, your
Why not?
attire...
What?
Listen,
Jean feels a little bit insulted because she feels like she's always been a little bad at religion.
if you were a cleric, you would be outwardly showing your holy symbol and very likely having a tome of some sort on your person related to your deity. I don't see those things. Another aspect of my job is to very quickly analyze people, make threat assessments, and figure out where they may or may not have strengths or weaknesses. And I've had my eyes on you since you almost walked through the dome. So I know that if worst comes to worst, you have very likely strong physical fortitude, and based on the fact that you didn't seem affected by Warren's suggestion capabilities, probably a decent amount of mental fortitude. You just look tired, my man. I'm sorry. You look like you're having better days. But you look like you probably have some magical capabilities, and I saw you make some magic with your hands, so I assume you have some natural capabilities as well, and you have your own sets of skills. But I believe if I had to pick what you were, you are very likely probably either a fighter of sorts who utilizes overwhelming strength and power to negate your opponents, or some, based on how you responded to not being a cleric, I'm going to guess you're a paladin of some sort who isn't necessarily open to expressing who it is that they follow and worship, which is fine. I need not know who your deity are. That's between you and your god.
Are people supposed to go around telling people who they follow? Is that?
Some
I didn't know
people,
that was
some
a thing.
people
I
very
thought you just sort of
much.
like, you know, do.
Have you ever heard of the Church of Bahamut? Let me answer that. Of course you have, because followers of the Church of Bahamut like to
That's so
tell you,
annoying.
right?
That's. I thought they were so annoying. I was not. I was trying to be not like them.
Exactly. If there are some deities, followers that are like that. So, I prefer the subtle approach. I respect it.
No, I am.
She
I
kind
am
of
much more subtle.
she
I
takes her
am very
sunglasses.
subtle.
She pushes her sunglasses down the bridge of her nose and looks at all three of you. I appreciate subtlety, and pushes them back up the bridge of her nose. She's got those yellow cat eyes that you would imagine with a tabaxi, as that is what this person is.
As you can tell by our group title, The Inevitable Doom, we are a very subtle group.
Yeah. Do you go around just yelling "We're the inevitable doom" all the time? Is that your thing?
No, just
Okay.
like when we introduce ourselves,
Oh.
No,
and
just
sometimes we write it on threatening notes.
Oh. You're threatening note makers.
We are big on threatening notes and traps.
I do appreciate a good trap.
Oh no, they are not good traps.
Oh.
They
In fact,
work.
actually, do you have any ways to be better at traps? All I do is stick a lot of poison in them usually.
One of my favorite traps that we did was, if you want to hear about it, I'm sure you do. We tore up like a person's bed. It was for a vampire. We found its coffin and we tore it up and we put some spice in there and we just said like, "Oh, your bed's really uncomfy now."
I'm here for the petty revenge tactics. That makes my day better.
I am so upset that we cannot kill that guy. I don't know how
Yeah.
you. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how you feel about saying the K word, but that guy is such an asshole.
The K word.
She looks at you, no one batting an eye. She pulls out a little tiny book from her pocket and goes, "This is how I feel about it." And she tosses you all this little black notebook. And as you kind of open it, and she like kind of nods at you, giving you permission to open this book. As you flip through it, there's about 200 pages in this small little notebook. But as you're flipping through, the first 85 to 90 pages are all hand-drawn pictures of targets with information on them. Every single one of them has a red X through their face.
I think I need to roll for gay with disadvantage at this point.
That's up to you.
Damn. No guidance.
Guidance.
I think that's a lot of K wording, Gene.
That's
Jean
that's
is
my-
impressed. Well, mark me down for scared and horny.
Oh gosh, she's horny.
horny for death.
Do I get any vibes of like she has any religion?
You also see on the same page as you all see it, at the bottom, it just says, finder's fee, 1 number, returned alive, 1 number, eliminated permanently, the number is a little bit higher. And you see that every single time the eliminated personally has been circled, or permanently has been circled. So
Just
it
curious.
seems that
Any
she's very
mental-
likely a murderer for hire.
Any name that we recognize? I doubt, but just saying. Just curious.
Is there a specific person that you're looking for in there?
No, I mean just there are only few people that we encounter up to this point of the journey. We just kind of flipping through the book and see if there's anyone that we may or may not know.
All of you roll me a history check.
Okay, here we go again. Fine, character she got close. Why? Damn. Okay.
Do you recommend keeping track of these sorts of things? I'm wondering if I should start one myself.
Well, I do it because it is of fulfillment of my obligations for my chosen career. And if anyone has any doubt about who I am, I can use this as proof. And if they question me a second time, they end up in said book. But it's up to you. Each person, each professional has their personal things. Some people keep trophies. Some people keep a book that they can.
I've been trying to do heads, but I feel like it's going to take a lot of space.
I would recommend maybe teeth.
Oh, teeth.
Or like a piece of,
like,
or a piece of jewelry.
How am I going to remember whose teeth are whose? Like, it's just kind of aggressive. Like, ooh, the spooky death teeth.
I mean, you could always just carve their initials into it, or you could draw an image of them, or I don't know, whatever suits your fancy. Some people take finger bones, some people take jewels. With a natural 20, however, you do, as you're like talking about like keeping track, keeping trophies, whatever, you flip to a page and you're flipping through pretty quick, just kind of like amazed at the success and the like how many people this woman has murdered. And you flip past a page and you get one of those things like, wait a minute, and you flip back 3 or 4 more pages and you recognize an image on here of one of your fellow tribespeople that went missing about 6 years ago, and no one really knew what happened to them. You weren't particularly close. They weren't like what you would consider to be an immediate family member, but all of your tribes folk, as you've previously described, are family in a roundabout kind of way. This could be the equivalent of like a second or third cousin you don't really like, but you know them. You recognize this person's face, and you just kind of look at it for a second, and you see that the month that they went missing was the same month of their elimination. So, and you see on there, the elimination says, meat poisoned and left to dissolve in acid. So, circled. So, and she acquired 500 gold for that total completion. So.
Question about this target, if you'd be willing to, you do not have to share if you do not want to.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you know them, they fucking suck, though. What do you remember? Why, in particular, you were asked to kill them?
Toss me the book.
Besides the fact that they were an asshole, and yeah, I'll just toss it back to her.
And she kind of looks at it for a second, and she thinks. She goes, "Well, I don't know all the details, as I only ask for the bare minimum of what is needed to do my job. I don't want to get too personally involved. Just murder is pretty, personally
I also
involved.
do not ask a lot of questions, so I
from what I remember about this person, they had a fling with some woman. As one thing led to another, they got them pregnant, and then when they were asked to stay and fulfill their parental obligations, instead of, saying yes or saying no, but saying they would be supportive, they left and hired a hitman to take the person out, which failed, and so it got to me, and I was hired on to take this job to eliminate that person from this world. So,
what are parental obligations?
She kind of looks at the two of you like, what? Do you not have parents?
It's a
You do
long
have
story for me, so I
right?
just gonna skip that.
But
Well, he was asked to stay and be a father, or at least be an involved father, and he said no and tried to have the person killed instead to not bear his child, so he would not have to acknowledge and or raise this youngling. So,
Gina's torn because on the one hand, like, uh, having to raise a child, she doesn't really consider anyone in the tribe to really be her parents.
yeah.
But on the other hand, just like flat out, being like, no, I'm gonna kill the mom, just feels like a dick move. So she's kind of torn of like not caring and like, fuck that guy.
Well, needless to say, that was 6 years ago, and now that child is, from what I've heard, quite the poisoner themselves. So,
A 6-year-old is a poisoner?
I've heard. Yeah.
Huh.
Is that
Perhaps we have
child
to fight
dead?
the poison prodigy. I'm a big fan of poison, as previously mentioned.
Hmm. Um. But anyway, back to business. We got way off task. Very
Sorry,
quickly.
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
So
Book.
is this storm the aftermath of that book that we took away? That someone took away?
Oh no, this storm that's happening right now. We get these fairly often. This one, as the one of the flaps of the door kind of blows open and some rain pours in. This is just a really bad weather storm, a really bad thunderstorm. There are times when we get magical, deathly flay winds, and you walk outside and the wind will literally shear the flesh from your bones. Um, but the weather here is very erratic. It can be 95 and sunny in the morning, a tornado later that afternoon. It just depends really on the kind of day that nature wants to have. This whole area is more magically infused than, um, well, a lot of other places. It's not like crazy magical like over in the Fey regions of this world, but there's more of like, well, at least from what Warren has explained, there is a vein of strong magic that pulsates underneath the city, and that's why this region is more magically prolific than others around it. And also, very likely, why the giants that settled this city built the city where it is. So, but
Uh, so since we are here to retrieve the book, and we heard the book has been gone for about 2 weeks,
mm,
uh,
well,
how do you suggest us to chase that down?
well, I know Warren had sent out people to track them. Um, Let me ask you this, as I was told by Valshun that Sandor has sent you to aid Valshun in acquiring the book for their purposes to then be returned to Sandor once Valshun has accomplished their task.
I do believe there was some sort of book club agreement
Okay.
going on here.
Well, I don't know all the details of the book itself other than it's highly valuable, it is very magical, and it is very much in need. Um, Now, Warren, like I said, is tracking them. He said he's had some recent, well, shortcomings, and, he's kind of losing it for that, and Valshun is not quite happy, but I've talked him off a cliff. Valshun, that is. But it may be worth your time to go and meet with Valshun, if that's of interest to you, or else you can just hang here, relax until Warren finds those that have it, and you can head on your search to find them. But Valshun
If
might
we
have
do not
something
know
to.
exactly where we are going, then perhaps it is worth talking to all of the people here.
I think it would definitely be helpful to talking to Vashun for a while.
Yes. We
And
thought that the other group that was here previously, who got on my good side by clearing out these tunnels, because for a while there, we had to hold transport between them because there was roper problems down there, but they cleared that out, which was nice of them. We paid them equivalently for it, but now we can transport people back and forth again. But they were on the up and up as far as potentially getting to meet with Valshun, it seemed. But
Wait, sorry. Can you tell me anything more about this group? Perhaps what they look like, the names, information about who they are?
Yeah, good job.
Sorry, this.
No,
Well-
actually, good job.
well, they were there were four of them. I met with them. I talked to them myself, as did Warren and others here. There was a larger, darker looking elf kind of person who was very interested in cooking. Um, wielded. What did he wield? And they think for a second about the kind of armor and weaponry that they wielded at the time. Um, they wielded, I think, some type of sword or glaive. They were wielding a larger weapon, but they were very interested in cooking. They spent a lot of time with our chef learning additional recipes. They had a who was basically attached to the hip to this one, whose name may have been Jarek. I can't remember. Something with a J. There was a small one who had no problem telling everyone their name. Their name was Ick Bean, because, you know, they said they hated beans, and Ick Bean is, I guess, how they named themselves. I don't know. That seemed childlike, but they looked like a little green goblin, but said they weren't a goblin, so, you know. But they were very... They and Warren got along quite well, as they both had some sort of powers to see not quite the future, but to foretell kind of some things. But they drew a comic strip, it seemed, for Warren, which kind of made him quite happy for a little bit, but also is what we utilize to, find them, which was kind of their downfall. Because, fun fact, you shouldn't just give items or personal belongings to high, powerful magic people. So,
Oh, blood.
definitely don't give your blood to people who are highly magical. Did you do that?
At this point, you see Maron's face. It's like,
Well, you know what? As long as you don't piss off the person you did it for, I think you'll be fine. But,
Good question. What would happen if you pissed off the person you gave it for?
I mean, if they can use blood magic, probably a whole lot. They can
What if
probably
they can't?
They can probably use it to track you if they can use any other type of tracking magic, I would imagine.
Sure. But what about...
Is that how we...
I mean, we knew about the tracking thing. That was part of the point. But, like... Any additional information we can get about how stupid we are for giving our blood from this lady?
They could
That
also,
we don't already know?
depending on what their magical proclivities are, they could probably clone you. If that's a thing. Make copies of you.
Is that
Well, that
how
was also
you
related
bind it
to...
Sendor?
What was that, Aaron?
Is that how you bind it to Sendor?
I'm not.
Binded to
Oh,
Sendor?
we're not bound to Sandor. Warren and I?
Oh,
Absolutely
shit,
not.
well...
No, we're not bound to Sandor. We work with and for Valshun, but Valshun doesn't have our blood either. We're contractually obligated to them by our job preferences. I transport things in and out of the city and help keep an eye on those coming in and out, and he runs the city and does what he wants to do, and we keep him up to date on any big happenings in the world, since he's focused on what he's focused on. But we gave no one our blood. Warren is with me because I've saved his life many times. He's with me out of he wants to be. He doesn't have to be. I don't force him to say. I appreciate for Warren for what he does, but the man is insane sometimes. So sometimes I'm just like, go away. I go take jobs to get a break from him sometimes. He's like a crazy child with an unlimited amount of power, it seems. Sometimes you just need a break. But yeah, we're not obligated
Wait,
to.
quick question. Have anyone like me ever asked you to kill someone for them and like tried to cheat on their homework?
What do you mean cheat on their homework?
She failed her mission, is what she's trying to say.
I have done nothing of the kind. Fuck you. I am very
Raise-
good at my job.
Baron raised his hand in the air. Sorry.
If you want, you can be my next target. You guys told me I should start killing people from my own free will. Perhaps I will start with you next.
I don't think killing your teammates is going to solve your problem.
See? Listen to the smart one.
So
No, but
let me ask
has
you this:
has anyone? Yeah, sorry.
Is the
Back to you.
question that someone gave you a task, someone gave you a assignment to go and fulfill, you fulfilled the assignment, and then the person tried to cheat you out of the payment? Or was
No,
it they gave you a job and you did the job and you didn't?
No, my question is, if has someone ever like me said, "Hey, could you go kill this person for me," and then taken the credit for it?
Oh, that happens all the time.
But like specifically with people like me,
People like you, and what do you mean?
like people who come from my group of people who definitely don't go on murder missions all the time.
Do you mean people from your group of relations, your tribe, your
Yes, those
species,
ones.
your whatever? Or do you mean a group of assassins that you're affiliated with?
What's the difference?
Well, one could be work friends and one could be non-work friends. Coworkers and family. Like, for example, those that you're here with right now could be your coworkers and your work family who do things together. Murder, missions, adventure, what have you. And then you have your home family, those that you were raised and lived the majority of your life with, and you go do other things. And they're both two separate, but potentially equal or one better than the other situations. But in my field, my area of expertise, typically what happens is when the job is handed to me, they know the job will be succeeded. Now, oftentimes, to keep the heat off of myself and to keep the heat from Eldoria, what we do is I fulfill the job, but I pass the heat over to somebody else, or somebody else, I will give them the credit for it to boost their reputation, which keeps me in the shadows, but also lets them build a reputation and they can do the same thing later. So it's not always a bad thing that an assignment that you fulfill is claimed victorious by another, as long as you can prove to your employer that you were victorious in completing your mission, even though somebody else is taking credit. Just depends on the employer. You see, with all this open discussion of murder and assassins, people have looked over, but no one seems to care. This seems to be her like open secret that they know that they're going to be taken care of regardless.
Okay, so this is just like a little bit petty, but if any other Goliaths from the Steel Spear garrison ever came to you and asked you to kill someone for them, could you say no?
I mean,
Just to fuck with them.
I could, but if they pay me enough and I'm in need, then I would probably say yeah. But I mean, if you're walking to me to hand me this assignment, what that tells me is that one, you didn't try hard enough to go do it yourself. Two, you didn't do enough work to go and find somebody else in the lower totem pole of contract killers. Or three, you're just being lazy. So I'm going to, most times, unless it's from a close friend, a person who always pays well, or someone like Valshun, Sandor, etc., that requests something very specific with my very specific set of skills, I will tell them, go try it yourself. If you fail, go hire somebody else. If they fail, then I might do it. So.
Okay, but what if you specifically said, go fuck yourself to anyone?
I mean,
I wonder if perhaps there are people who are cheating on their missions. And I feel like that is unfair
I mean,
after years of training.
they could be. I don't know. I only know what I do, and I haven't taken any specific jobs from Goliaths. So, not that I can recall.
Okay.
But back to your original question, other than the larger, darker elf, there was, and the small green person, there were two other human-looking folks with them. One looked to be more of like a tracker who used a bow and a sword, and one seemed to be giving off this kind of natural magic kind of vibe. But those two were more hesitant to be open with themselves, about themselves, than others. But that's fine.
Then the one whose name started with a J and the one who was a bean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but if you wish to enter the city, you are more than welcome to.
Is there any reason for us to enter the city? Is there any cheap plate armor in the city?
I mean, I could give you a coupon, which would probably get you a discount. Or if you asked Valshun, Valshun could probably just get you all some better gear. They do run
I
the
don't
city.
need it, but it would make me feel better.
I mean,
You know, I just went through a pretty bad breakup, and I would just like to have some better armor. You know, it would make me feel better.
you know what?
It's fine. We got some money.
Here, this might make you
Not
feel better
much.
temporarily. I'm not going to give these to you, but I'll let you try them on. And they toss their sunglasses to you, Jean. And as you put on these
Do
sunglasses,
they make me look super cool?
well,
The
so
night visions,
this
goggles,
this
sunglasses.
pair of green lens tortoiseshell sunglasses, as you put them on, everybody in the room kind of looks at you, and you get this vibe that you're putting off that you are just the coolest, charismatic badass in the room. Mechanically, here's what they will do for about 5 minutes till she wants them back. You get a +2 to charisma. You replace your book smarts with street smarts, and you can switch your general knowledge of information with just bloviation. So you're just charismatic as fuck. You're so street smart that anything that would require you to utilize book smarts, you can just replace with charisma instead. Um, when using this feature to make history, religion, or nature or arcana, any information given to a friend or foe will occasionally sound like total baloney, but even malarkey artists are partially right most of the time. Additionally, investigation checks using this feature are made at disadvantage, as finding clues is cool, but searching for them rarely looks dope.
I want them so bad, but I like this kitty lady. Not a, you know, I'm not quite as gay for her, but
Yeah.
I like her.
And after a few minutes of you just kind of walking around, you know those really funny commercials of video games where people are like leaning back and just like walking with their arms real wide, their shoulders real wide, like they got that vibe, like the real street vibe. That's you. You're just walking around like, feeling myself. And there's almost like you have a little bit of theme music in your head as you're kind of walking around the place, and just everyone's giving you the head nod, like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then she's like, all right, all right, all right, give me my glasses back.
The, honestly, I feel a little bit worse now that I have those taken away from me again.
Well, they're mine. So they're a legendary
Not-
item that I took off of well, shall we say, a warlock who needed not their hands anymore or their eyeballs. So
If you ever get any targets that you are not sort of interested in or not sort of your speed, I don't know how you would contact me, but let me know. I'd be willing to help out.
I can use Warren. He can find anybody.
Yeah.
Not creepy at all.
He's a wizard. They have all kinds of weird spells that do weird stuff. Hell, he turns me into like a little kitten sometimes when I ask to be shrunk down, or turns me into a giant bear-sized cat sometimes. It's a wild time. Turns like a big saber-toothed tiger almost. But yes, if you wish to meet Valshun, potentially get some improvement to your wares, or to get more information about what they're searching for in the tome, then you are more than welcome to go. You can also stay out here in one of the tents for the evening, or you can very likely find an inn, which I can give you a coupon for a free few days stay if you wish. It's up to you.
I think it is worth talking to Valshun.
Okay.
Yeah, we can meet him.
Well, what I will do
Yeah.
then is I will send word to Valshun through a messenger that you three have arrived and that you are looking to meet, and very likely it won't be until tomorrow, as I'm assuming he's busy with things, speaker, town leader things. Um, and then he'll send for you, and he will have you traveled to his home.
Cool.
Yeah. We definitely need some rest.
All right. Well, let me write you a coupon for, let's say, 3 nights stay. Why not? You can always ask for more if it really comes to it. Um, for any place that you wish in the city. Do you want to stay kind of on the down low, or how you feeling?
Whatever that is closer to Vashon that saves us the walk, I guess.
Something comfortable.
Okay. All right. Well, let me go get a pen and paper, and we'll get this written up. And they're gone for a few minutes. I mean, you guys have 10, 15 minutes to kind of talk amongst yourself if you so wish.
I want to find Wardackle, man. I want to talk to him about sleep. I know she said he probably can't, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, certainly. Um, you kind of wander around for a little bit, and you see that you eventually do find Warren. He is off kind of doing some magic study kind of thing. You don't quite know what it is that he is studying, but you see that he's writing and reading and doing all kinds of different things related to his magics. Um, and eventually looks up and sees you. Let me pull Warren back over
Warren.
here. We'll say that you're just over here. You're still in the big tent. He comes back in. You guys find yourself there. Winter's over here. This is all one big tent. And you find Warren. Oh, hi. What's up? How can I help you?
Hey, Warren. How you doing?
Uh, at this exact moment, I'm doing okay, I think.
Gotcha. Great. I know you're a really powerful wizard and all. Do you think you
yes,
could?
yes, I am.
Trust me, I know. I saw that mass suggestion spell you cast. I dabble a little bit in the suggestion spell too. I do not know how to cast that bigger version though. That was really impressive.
Ah, well, fun fact. It lasts much longer. It's much harder to cast. It lasts a whole damn day.
Oh, damn. Okay. That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Yeah, it
And I heard
does.
like you can make clones of yourself and stuff too.
Not.
Like,
I can't clone myself, but
oh,
who's telling you these things?
Winterbin.
Oh, no, I can't clone myself. There is a. I think you can clone yourself if you have the right materials, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I. Let me think for a minute. You see that he starts thinking and starts going through all these different like castings in his head and starts outwardly saying, you hear he's talking to himself but in different tones, different voices. Some sound older, some sound younger, some sound super frazzled. He goes, actually. He runs away really quick and comes back with like an armful of books and just throws them on the ground. And just starts using his mage hand in both of his hands and whoosh creates a giant breeze, and all of the books kind of rearrange themselves and open up to certain pages, and he's like picking bits and pieces from all these different arcane tomes that he has. And he goes this and this and this, and he grabs just a blank scratch piece of paper and just starts writing in Gnomish, and a combination of Gnomish and Halfling. Do you speak either of those?
I speak
No.
Gnomish.
All right. So you guys all see this happening, but you also have
I
comprehend
got
languages.
comprehend
too.
languages. Yeah.
So as you're seeing him,
Naren speak Gnomish.
cool. You see from the gnomish portions of what he is doing, that he has an idea, a very wild idea, utilizing necromantic magic. And then he writes, you see in gnomish, flesh. Then a little bit later, lots of time, 4 months, 6 months? Question mark. Not sure. 120 days? Dot dot dot. Maybe. Um, then you see older, younger. Who knows? But this goes on for a little bit, and he goes soul transfer? Question mark in gnomish. But basically, what you're seeing him trying to figure out is what he needs to do what you want to do. He just got on this tangent of you're asking him to make a clone, so all of his brain's focused on this one task, and for about the next 5 to 10 minutes, he starts writing it out, and then
Yeah, I'd love to just sit with him and see what he's doing, try to learn.
he's writing hyper aggressively, and then Winter Moon comes over and goes, "Huh? Well, I see he's in the middle of this. I'm gonna leave him. I need to go and take a bath and eat some dinner anyway. I'll be back. Enjoy your time." And then she goes to the bath. About an hour goes by, and he goes, "Eureka!" And he just pops up out of like this ultra focused state that he was in. And he looks at all of you and goes, "Okay, all right. I know how to make a clone. It's very,
That,
it's very
that was-
expensive.
that was spectacular, Warren.
The only way I was able to figure it out so fast is I have 12 different versions of my brain working at one time. Let me tell you,
Mm.
magical ADHD is a wonderful but horrifying thing. It's a blessing and a curse. Don't ever get
I'm
it.
sure.
Um,
I'm sure.
but he tells you that to do it, he needs to either physically touch a creature or have at least 1 cubic inch of its flesh. And then he takes that, combines it with a diamond worth 1,000 plus gold pieces, and puts both of those things in a sealable vessel that's worth 2,000 gold pieces that is as big as the creature he's cloning. So if you're 6 feet tall when he's cloning you, it has to be a 6 foot tall, 2,000 gold piece plus valued vessel that he seals.
So a coffin.
Basically.
Made out of gold.
Basically a coffin made of gold. And he seals it, and for after 120 days, it will be complete. It grows in there for 120 days. And then when it's done, he tells you it can be the same age, older or younger, or same age or younger than you. It remains basically an inert mountain of flesh while its vessel is undisturbed. And then if the original creature dies, or so if he was to make this of himself and then die after the clone finishes, the dead creature's soul now will transfer to the clone if it's free and it wants to come back. The clone is physically identical to the original, same personality, memories, and abilities, but none of the original equipment. The original body of the person who had died, their body remains inert, cannot be revived since the creature soul has been placed somewhere else. And after finishing this and explaining to you how clone would work, says, "I guess you could use this as a way to live forever. If you had that kind of time and that kind of money and that kind of magical power, you could just grow yourself a new clone like have one on the ready, and then if you were to die, you have like an extra. You just would have to keep finding your stuff, but you'd have an extra." Could I do it right now? I could not, but it's a thing. I could work on it, I guess. Although I feel like Valshun might not take too kindly to me doing it for myself, and may want me to do it for him or somebody else. I don't know. He wants to live forever too.
Can I just say, Warren, that is genius what you just did. Do you just coming up with that on the spot?
I have a really bad headache now, but I appreciate it.
Well, okay. Before I let you go to go rest about the headache,
Well, why I was coming up here about an hour ago to ask you something. I wanted to know if do you have like any magic or something that could help me stay awake?
Andal, do you have any way for us to go into his brain if he's being attacked in his brain?
He looks over at you first, Imric, and says, "Actually, I do. Hold on." And then runs over across the tent and then runs back and he hands you a cup and says, "Drink this.
Is it
What
coffee?
will this do?
It'll keep you awake."
Is it coffee? If I smell it, is it coffee?
It's 100% coffee.
I will gladly drink the coffee.
You drink it, and it is the strongest coffee you've ever had. Roll me a Constitution saving throw at advantage. It's a really low DC.
We should have asked him for a Red Bull, and then you could have had wings.
At advantage.
You
with
also get
Gene's
Gene's
thing,
thing. Yeah.
it's 20.
As soon as this coffee hits your stomach, you feel like your body has been shocked by lightning in a good way. And you start
Oh my God.
shaking because of how much energy and caffeine is effectively in this. Basically, what this is a quadruple espresso, triple brewed, and then put into another quadruple espresso.
Oh my God.
It's
Oh my
basically
God,
cocaine in a cup.
Ward.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
can I get more of this?
Um,
I need this.
I
Wait,
I
how
can't.
did
Is that
you
his
make it?
ADHD medication?
Yeah, you basically just took Ritalin. So,
Yeah.
Lauren,
yeah.
Lauren, how did you make this? You gotta tell me.
I I took this and I put it in this
Uh-huh.
and I kept putting more of
Uh-huh.
this in it and I just kept going and going and
Uh-huh.
going and
Uh-huh.
then here we are. I got this.
I need the stuff to make this.
As-
Can you
as
give me the stuff
someone-
to make it?
As someone who is professional at using a brewer's kit, brewer's supply, can I tell what he did to create
Oh,
that?
absolutely.
thing?
You saw that what he did was there was already he ran over to the guy who I said earlier was like cooking and making drinks and stuff. He also makes coffee and other like non-meal beverages. You see that they have a couple of different types of coffee. Basically, um, Warren went over and he took what looked to be the strongest coffee beans, brewed effectively in espresso, then kept rebrewing it to make a triple espresso, and then took that, put it through the magical coffee maker, and then remade the same thing with the new freshly rebrewed triple espresso to make it like crazy strong. And if you had the beans and hot water, which you could easily make hot water, but you could do the same thing. Now I will tell you, this will keep you awake for 24 hours, right, without having to sleep. But you have to make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage against exhaustion because it's that coffee hit that comes down. And then if you fail that, you can't force that second save to stay awake. So, you have consumed it. I'll say if you don't want to consume it, you don't have to. But,
No, I consumed it.
all right.
For sure.
So you've consumed it now. So you are awake for the next 24 hours if you choose to be. And when that 24 hours wears off, you'll have to roll a con save at disadvantage unless you get another one, and then you can keep yourself wired and alive for longer. But your con saves will get much harder every time.
Yeah, so can I just keep on drinking it without it?
You can, but eventually what will happen is it will get to the point where you'll have to try and sleep or you'll die. Like if you stay awake for more than if you
Does
say
he still get levels of exhaustion?
So here's the thing. After these 24 hours, what'll happen is if you drink it again, stay awake. Drink it again for the third day, stay awake. But after the third day, you start hallucinating and you have to make exhaustion saves, right? And then you have to make the exhaustion save every hour at disadvantage with the save going up. Because you're effectively forcing yourself to be awake by a drug-induced awake time. So right now your DC is still 16 until 24 hours from now when you got to roll that save at disadvantage or take another one.
Why would it be at disadvantage?
Because you're already wiped out and tired, and I don't know if you've ever tried to stay awake off of that caffeine
No,
high.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
It won't. So
let's be
it'll.
real. This disadvantage does not need to be explained.
We can do it this way. You can either have the roll at disadvantage, or every time it comes up, we can just increase the DC by 3. It's up to you.
Oh, it could be a disadvantage.
Okay. To me, that makes the most sense because if you drink enough
Yeah.
caffeine and try to force yourself awake, it's hard. It's really hard.
No, I get that.
Meron walk up to the cafe slash bar area and be like, "How much it gonna cost me to grab a full bag of your strongest coffee bean, whatever that he just grabbed?"
Oh, I don't know, like 2 gold pieces,
Okay, I toss out 2 gold pieces and got a full
Mary,
bag.
get more. Get
and
more, Mary.
they
Get as
teach
much as you
you
can.
they teach you how to make it just so you for sure know how to do it. Like they teach you everything that
Okay.
they do to.
Fine, I get a full, like, I guess that's like a 20-pound bag.
Yeah,
Oh,
20 pounds.
we'll say it's a 10-pound bag of beans.
okay.
Can I
Warren?
carry it just to feel strong?
If you want to.
It's a
Warren.
10-pound bag.
The dumbbells in
I
your
think-
pack are heavier.
I think you've genuinely saved my life, Warren. But there's no doubt about it.
Okay, well. All right then. Good
But
luck.
you still don't have any. You don't have any magic to help.
Do what? Go into your dreams?
That and to
I'm
make me
interested
stay
in
awake.
that.
Well. Hmm. I'm not really a dream magician, but I could maybe look at your future and see what happens if you don't sleep.
No, we know what happens if he doesn't sleep.
I would love to know what happens if I don't sleep.
All right.
Also, maybe just like brain protection magic, you know?
Oh. Well,
Just stop. I need magic.
are you not magic enough to do that yourself? You seem pretty strong.
I'm not magic.
No, he's a
enough.
wimp.
Much. You're much. Excuse me, Gene. You're much more magic.
Well, I think you're looking for something that will just protect your brain.
Yeah.
But I don't have that. Sorry.
What happens if I don't sleep?
You die.
I could have told you that. You don't need to look into the future to know that.
Did you look into the future, or did you just guess?
Well, you see, if you don't sleep, you won't just die first. You'll get real tired, and then real slow, and then you'll become emotionally dependent on other people who will get tired of your business, and then you will start hearing voices, and then your personality will break, and then eventually
Right?
you
Can
will...
I roll an insight if this has like happened to him before? Like this feels like it's getting personal.
Yes, go ahead, you all can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
The one
yeah.
important thing that I need to know for this entire night, apparently.
Yep, this is personal experience, Warren, right here.
Yeah,
Whether
okay.
he means to or not, it's a coming out. And then what happens is when you eventually sleep, you start hearing voices again, and then it's you lose it. You go crazy. You're having not a good time. I don't recommend it. Sleep is essential to replenishing your magic. So,
Okay.
but also, things in dreams typically can't hurt you that much. Maybe emotionally, but not physically. So,
What happened? Can you tell me the future on what happens if I do fall asleep?
yeah, certainly can try. All right, sit here, cross legs. Let me do this. And you see that as he starts to chant and do some hand signs like from Doctor Strange, you see that he creates 2 duplicates of himself, which just look like mirror images of himself, and they're all kind of chanting just in common about going into your future. And then you see one of the one on the right makes like one half of a triangle on one side of your forehead. The other one finishes the triangle with the other half, and then Warren makes like a you know when you're a kid and you want to make like the mask with your hands, and you put like you flip your hands upside down and you make like owl eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he crosses his arms and does that to you. So, and then he goes like forehead to forehead with you, and you feel this like weird sensation of magic just rush through your body, almost like a cold sweat hits you real quick, and then after a couple of seconds, it feels like this gust of wind just forces it out of you. Um, well, it was real weird there. I ended up at a place that had a ocean that was cold, but it was dark, and there was an altar with blood, and there was some weird vibes going on, like like the person or thing or entity that you were there to see was they weren't mad. They were just disappointed. Like like you did something that wasn't necessarily what they would recommend, and they were waiting and willing to have a conversation with you, but I didn't sense any animosity from them. I just sensed disappointment and distrust, possibly, but that seemed mutual anyway. So I don't feel like sleeping's going to kill you, but at the same time, divination isn't an exact science. It's magic after all. I don't know.
Is
I
it an
could have been.
exact magic?
Depends on the day. Sometimes.
Fair enough.
Sometimes you can guess right, and sometimes you really fuck up. You know.
Let's hope this is not a fuck up time.
Well, this was in his brain, not mine, so I don't know. If it was mine, I would really not be able to tell the truth. There's too many brains in there. Too many personalities. Too many people. But yes. Anyway. Anything else you need from me?
No, thank you so much, Ward. You are truly a sight to behold.
Oh, shucks. I know. My robe is impressive, I know.
I genuinely think you have a great. Do you have a specific tailor?
Yeah. He points over to what looks like a child with a big beard, who is very much a dwarf. Just yeah, his name's Ike. He's a tailor. I told him to make me look fashionable.
You look very fashionable. I might talk to him. Thank you so much, Ward.
You see Ike's beard is long enough that it drags on the floor too, so this Ike fella has a vibe of making things way long. So that's just his vibe.
I think he's compensating for something.
I mean, he is only like 3 feet tall. He's
Yeah.
he's actually just barely taller than Warren, and he's a dwarf, and Warren's a gnome. So, you know.
He's
All
just
right,
a little
well,
guy.
All right, well, I think the boss is waiting for you. She's back from her bathing situation. It says bathing with quotation marks.
Oh, I was wondering.
Yeah, she does the whole cat bathing thing. I try not to think about it.
I do not want to think about it either.
Yeah, my hips don't bend that way. I would break my back. I'm too old for that kind of flexibility. Anyway, good night. The two mirror images disappear. And
Good night, Ward.
he goes back to just doing whatever it was that he was doing.
He seems like a strange fellow.
I
Not in a bad
pretty
way.
sure strange is an understatement.
Wonder if he can be Sandor in a fight.
I don't
Uh,
think they followed down the same path.
Baby.
I like one-on-one, I suspect my money is on Sandra. But like, would I like to have Warren on my side? Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to piss off this guy for sure.
Honestly, everyone here seems pretty great so far.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's crazy, or they don't
No one is like a fucking hot orc, but like, we will have to accept things as they are.
Well, I have your coupon ready, and now that you seem to be done with Warren, here you go.
Did you hear me say that no one is a fucking hot orc?
Oh no, I mean even if she
Oh,
did,
okay.
she wasn't caring enough to.
Okay. It's really important that we have a good impression on these people.
Well,
Where
thank
can
you
I
so much,
buy
Ward.
a book like your book? Just an empty one, not one with things in it already.
Oh, you can just probably buy it at just a general store. I mean, that's just where I got mine. I mean, I got a nicer bit of leather for the outside of mine, and had it bound. I personally had this one made, but this isn't the first book I've had. This is my 5th book. I filled the others.
That was the implication, yes. Sorry, that was. I think that was rude. Imric, was that rude?
I was very busy in my youth.
That was not. It was fine. It was fine, Gene.
Okay, thank you. No, Jean wouldn't say thank you. I am, closer to the beginning of my career, but I think it is a good idea. I think I might start my own.
I have heard. Now, this isn't for me, because as you can see, I have my preference on how I track what I've done. I track my targets through information and jobs. I love information, right? And so I like to be able to recall all details about past jobs. Some people don't want that. I have heard that some people, when they take down their target, they find a piece of foliage or a flower or something, and they press that in the book and attach that to a page and just write the initials of their target beside that. And that's how
I am not good at drawing, so that sounds a lot more accessible for me.
Or you can always just put a drop of their blood with their initials too.
Oh, yes, that one. That one is my favorite. Thank you. God damn it, I don't have any fucking glass on his blood. Now I will have to go and get... Oh, I don't... I fucked up, guys. I'm just always a fuck up.
It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, we all mess up early in our careers. I don't have every kill I've ever performed tracked. I think I missed out on the first half dozen before I realized, hey, if I actually want to get paid, I need to track my progress.
I didn't really pay attention to the ones that weren't important, but now I'm wondering if I should. The other day I felt like if I didn't start killing people, it was not going to be great for me. So I felt like maybe I should sort of keep a record of things.
Yeah. But yes, any general store should have just a little... They have open sheets of paper and parchment, and if you wish them to be bound, you can always just ask for them to... If you want the full size or half size, you just ask them to cut it, and then they likely could bind it at a general store. If not, there's probably a leather worker or someone that you could get it to. Now, I'll tell you, there's no bookmakers. In Eldoria, books are pretty much outlawed, so you're not going to find a book per se.
Books are outlawed?
Uh,
And we were sent here to find a book?
Ironic, isn't it?
It is very ironic.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Valshun has a thing about not liking people to have books. So this is about one of the only book-esque things you'll be able to find. And the only reason he doesn't make a deal about this is because this is also my record of completion of jobs. So I've argued that this is
there
not
like
a book.
accountants here?
No.
Record keepers?
He's very old. He remembers a lot of things. So
Oh, that's fair.
But yes, here's your coupon. You can
Oh,
take
does mail work here? I heard about this thing called the mail system.
Oh, not really in the city, but we could mail something for you if you wish.
Later, perhaps.
Okay. Well, here's your coupon. Hand you guys all a coupon. So.
Thank you.
Oh, and if you're ready to go, just go over to the entrance over there. What it will do is you'll follow some stairs down. They'll be well lit the whole way through a bunch of underground tunnels. Just follow the lit path. If you steer off the path, you'll end up at dead ends. You'll probably find a dead roper body and probably some other bodies down there. Skeletons, don't worry about them. They've been there for a while. Just follow the lit path. Eventually, you'll find another door, which is the exit. You follow the stairs up, and you'll be in Eldoria. So, easy peasy.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
Alright, well, good luck. I'm gonna go to bed, because I'm tired.
You did say you like your naps.
I like to sleep a solid 10 a day. And then nap for 4.
Same. Same.
Do you guys hang out here more? Do you go to Eldoria? What's your plan?
I mean, I don't need to roleplay getting a book, but I would like to buy either some like minimally bound paper or like a notebook or something.
Yeah, they can. If you explain what it's for when you get there, you can buy sheets of paper and have it sliced up, and they can sell you a piece of leather. And they tell you how to bind it yourself, because technically they're not allowed to make books, but they'll tell you how to make it. And you can very easily spend the equivalent of like an hour and just bind your own little book.
Okay, how much is that going to cost me?
I don't know, like a gold worth of materials.
Yeah.
And time teaching. But do you guys go into Eldoria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys make your way into Eldoria with your little, here's your little travel token.
Oh boy.
Yep. You guys end up coming out of a little doorway, a little trap door in the ground, kind of like a basement cellar door. And there are two guard-like folks standing watch. And they look at you and kind of inquisitive for a second, then realize since you hadn't left out this way, you were very likely coming from the other way, and you very likely had passage granted to you from Wintermoon. And then they kind of look at you for a second, then they see your coupon, and they're like, "Oh, great. So here's this that you're gonna need," and they hand you a map. And you see on this map, it kind of gives you a little lowdown on the area.
The lowdown on the low grove?
The lowdown on the low grove. And they tell you a little about the areas as well. So, Low Grove is a market district, as well as like a lot of the poorer residences are here. There's traders, artisans, there's alchemists, herbalists, blacksmith, chef, tailor, and other things like that. Over here, there is West Plupt. They tell you that very wealthy and powerful people live over there. They point you to Fupip Avenue, right here, which is where they sell magic things on the surface, but they're kind of like a shady place. Think Diagon Alley, Nocturne Alley kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, for that kind of vibe, right? Deuces Hill, which is over there, that is like cemetery graveyard kind of area. That is the cemetery graveyard. Up here in Little Keeposp, it's where the wealthier but not powerful people live. West Plupt is like the wealthy and powerful people. Little Keeposp is like the wealthy but not powerful people live, right? Over here, you have the Knot, which is just the northeastern entrance exit into town when opened. When it's used to be used when the dome wasn't over the city. Same with Long Rock. It is the northern entrance, which same was the way in and out from the north. And then Silk Barrow was the Silk Barrow Straits, which was the same. And you can kind of see from the dome, as they kind of point out, you can see through from this side out, not so much the other way in. It was a little more of like a, kind of like how the tiny hut, you can see out of it, but it's hard to see in because of translucency. You can see out, and you can see out a little ways in the distance is where the little town where you guys just were, the outskirts, little shanty town area is. You can kind of see that through here. And they do point out that there is a fort in this city. The city is all built around the fort, which is backed into the sheer cliff edge, which is over here. And the name of the fort is Fort de Pouvoir. And those of you that speak Giant recognize
We know what that
what it means.
means.
I don't know.
It funnily just means Fort of Power.
Yeah, it just means Fortress of Power.
Yeah, Fortress of Power. And that's where they tell you that that's where Valshun's residence can be found, but you need an escort to be taken in, or you will be arrested and thrown in jail and or killed. So,
Beautiful.
but they point you towards the Black Narcissus Inn, which is operated by a 4 foot, a very tall 4 foot gnome.
Oh, that is hecka tall for a gnome.
Orator Calix Origin Fargrim.
The what?
What?
The what? And the what? And the what?
Introduces himself. Hello,
Orator?
my name is Orator Calix Origin Fargrim. You can call me Oru for short.
Oh, cough.
Um,
Cool.
in-
Cough.
inside their tavern, the Black Narcissus, there are mirrors everywhere, so you can see yourself
Narcissus.
everywhere. Right. You can see yourself from every angle, good, bad, everything in between. You see this very tall gnome is wearing a pinstripe suit with suspenders, 3 buttons undone in the front of his shirt, exposing a large scar across his chest. You also see that above the scar he's got on his chest, there is a selenite tattoo, and he sees your coupon and leads you to your rooms. You each have your own room. These rooms are very well taken care of. These are the most comfortable beds that you have seen and or laid in maybe in your whole life.
I think for Jean, this sounds like whole life.
And the rooms smell of lavender and tea tree oil, nice, relaxing. There's
can I get rid of the lavender?
Yeah. You can basically close whichever. There's little vials that are just kind of aerating smoke into the air to fill it with nice aromatics. You can always cover them.
You guys would see like Jean is trying 100% to play it off as like, oh, that there's something in my eye. That smell is getting in my eye, but it just shutting off the lavender tap or the whatever.
The other thing.
No tears just falling, just a lot of blinking.
The other thing that you see in here is that in every room there is a vase, and in every vase there is a small bundle of Black Narcissus flowers. It kind of reminds you a little bit of your Black Dahlia flowers that you saw, but
No.
you know, these ones, as you kind of stare at the flowers, you kind of get this vibe that you could just stare at them forever. You don't, but you feel like you could. They're beautiful enough, and the beauty of these flowers are unending. Mirrors in all the rooms, bedrooms, bathroom, the main lobby. You could always see yourself. And if you've never really had exposure to multiple reflective surfaces before, this is a lot. It's just you all the time in your room. It's just you from every angle. It's like you can see your beauty, but you can also see any flaws that you might have on great display for you to see from every angle, whether that's you're taking deeper looks into yourself from an outward facing aesthetic perspective, or if that's you're looking deep into your own eyes and trying to like see into your own soul from all of the different reflections that you have of yourself. The rooms are very comfortable. They have the aromatics to make you relax and want to sleep. Don't have to, but you get the urge to want to rest. There are pencils, different colored pencils and crayons and papers and things that you could create art with. You could also, there are other books here that you can just relax and read. Each room has its own little small fireplace and its own little wash basin with one shared bathroom and big washroom at the end of the hall. But yeah, you'll have dinner provided to you. You just have to come and get it. Dinner, drinks, and then the night is yours.
Marin considered that he really needs a shower, so he will go ahead and take a bath.
Absolutely.
Jean's going to just kind of like sit on the bed that's too comfy for her, and like pull out her book and start writing some stuff.
Okay.
I'm not falling asleep.
Oh, I assumed as much. But you can still lay on this bed and relax and just be wide awake, but cozy. If that's
Yeah,
what you
man.
choose.
I'll do
I'm gonna
that.
keep like, I'm gonna write, and I'm gonna keep half an eye on Imric. Like every like minute or so, I'm gonna look up at Imric,
Are you
make
guys
sure that he's not
sharing a
falling
room,
asleep.
or are you each having your own room? Because he has the
Oh,
phone
I guess
available
we
to.
have.
It's up to you.
We can like hang out in the same room
Yeah, I
until
assumed
it's
we
time to go
weren't
to
sleeping
sleep.
yet, and therefore it felt awkward to just go
Okay.
separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just
Alright.
chill together.
Oh well, yeah. Then yeah, Marin is probably drowned. You at one point you think that he's drowned in the bathroom.
Just drown.
Did you turn into a fish over there?
So if any of you need to actually go to use the bathroom, you may have to just knock on the door.
Cast light covers all special areas. But yeah.
Well, Marin's in the bathroom. I think like Jean would like every once in a while, like as she's making sure that you're awake. Honestly, like she kind of has this look of like she kind of wants to talk about something, but she's not going to bring it up. Like when we're hanging out in the room with Emmerich, while you're in the bath. Although you can come back at any time, Marin. Not trying to like exclude you.
Okay. I feel like I'm not gonna bring anything up, even if you. Yeah.
All right. You Marin,
Big
you
girl,
come.
can come up and talk to me if you want.
You
I am a
eventu-
big girl.
You eventually come back to the room, Marin, nicely fresh and bathed and feeling, more alive and cleaner than you have in quite some time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and you're not unused to awkward situations and awkward quiet and stuff in your group. Sometimes it's just, awkward. It just is what it is with that quiet time. But you walk in and it's one of those situations where you're like, huh, I feel like something should be happening or has happened, but no one wants to talk about it. It's just like there's something in the air, and you just can't quite put your finger on what it is.
I'm sorry that one of you shit your pants when I was in the bathroom.
That's an icebreaker right there.
I'm good. I'm just relaxing. I'm awake. This is the most awake I've felt in days.
Yeah, I took that recipe, so if you need more, just let me know.
Ah, that's perfect, man.
And like if anyone shit their pants, it's the one who had a shit ton of coffee.
I'm doing good. How you doing, Marin?
Fresher than ever. Jeans, I suggest you do one because you've been pretty bloody recently. Actually, you're just bathing the water, bathing the ocean, so you should probably am fine.
I was going to say did you neither of you go swimming when you were showing me how to beach day?
I mean,
Marin
it's
turned into
not
a
me.
shark. So,
Oh yeah,
Sea
you
water
right,
can
you were
make
as a shark.
difference.
You know what? What was the last time we took a shower?
For Marin, minus all the time that he's swimming the water in the sea, it's been a good couple months.
Oh, I'd love to take a shower. My turn.
Don't die.
I'll try not to, Gene. Thank you.
FYI, I cast water breathing on myself, so I was fine.
okay.
I cast water breathing on myself in the shower.
When taking a bath, yes. I gotta erase my last third level spells just for the
Okay.
sake of
Hilarious to use a
obvious.
third level spell to take a bath, and I love it. I love it so much.
Imric, you said you were going to take a bath?
Yeah.
Okay. You go and take a bath. Anything you guys wish to do while Imric is bathing?
I'm not gonna lie. Every 5 minutes, I knock, and I'm like, "Are you dead?" Because I'm afraid he's gonna fall asleep in the bath.
I'm
Hey,
okay, dude. This coffee is really strong. I'm feeling great.
At one point, Marin was just like, just so you know, I sent a letter to our old friend back in Willow.
You, what?
I sent
Why?
a letter.
What did you say?
I think as a group, we did do something that I really don't like, and I think it is worth it to me to do some explanation.
You're not explaining very well right now.
I am not. I didn't really explain anything. I just tell her that we will go back and get everything fixed.
That
One
is
day.
sort of what I was trying to tell her as well. And like she pulls out this note that's like it is like 50% stuff that is scratched out. There's definitely some like blood and tears, maybe some sweat, who knows. All over this like really damaged piece of parchment. There's probably like Mrs. Jean Dumal like in the corner that's like crossed out vigorously. And it's just like a doozy. And it has like it has like flower petals like stuck onto it with blood, and it's not good. It's just not good.
Yeah, Tuna left a few days ago. I'm surprised that none of you
That
paid
is where the
attention
stupid
to
belt
it.
went. You know what? Hawk has been like, where the fuck is the other one, a couple times, and I just didn't have a response.
So I'm honestly hoping that she make her way back before you get mad at me.
I'm not mad at you. I
And,
don't know who I'm mad at right now, but strangely, it's not you.
and I just want to tell you guys about this. It's despite that we have this blood binding with what the fuck is what is his fucking name?
Sandor?
Sandor.
Emmerich having a nice time.
One day I will get rid of him. One day.
You know, I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit iffy the entire time we were talking to him. And then when I saw the way that Orville did not remember anything, his death was sealed in my brain. So I will help you. Fuck
Yeah.
that guy.
We are a little bit too weak. Or maybe just me.
Yeah, you are a
Maybe-
wimp. You fucking died to one blast from a dragon? What the fuck, man?
It's a fucking dragon!
I took that hit like a champ. He even complimented me on it.
Yes, you are also 10 foot taller than me. I know that's over exaggeration.
Yes, you are very much exaggerating. You are being unrealistic. But I am stronger than you. You are correct.
Okay, let's not go down that's who is stronger that route. I'm not.
Because I will win.
While you guys are having this conversation in the bedroom, it can be
Obviously
heard.
with the
As I
quotation
say,
mark.
it can be heard from. There's no other. You guys are the only three patrons here, so you, Emmerich, you can hear the voices of your friends down the hallway. They're not yelling, but you can hear them because they're carrying in this emptier, quieter space. But as you're in the bathtub, kind of singing and taking in the nice relaxation of this nice, darkened, aromatic filled like tub that smells nice and relaxing. As you're kind of looking at the water, submerging yourself, you get these weird flashes, and you get your body feels kind of odd in the water as you submerge yourself to clean your head and your hair and all that. You feel this weird itching on your neck, and as you reach up onto your neck, you feel like these gaps appear in the sides of your neck on both sides, which feel kind of like fish gills. And as you reach up behind your ears, you feel this weird like cilia that kind of appears, and you sit up out of the water real quick, and you're feeling that there's nothing there. As you sit up and kind of like look at your hands after you touch the side of your neck, like, what was that? Your skin is glistening with this strange, like, slimy mucus that the light just bounces off of. And your whole body feels a little lighter, and it's almost like you're starting to float in the water, and then you're not. And then the whole room goes like, the candles kind of flicker and go out for a second, and things that you would normally not be able to see in the dark, even with your dark vision, it's almost like you're seeing these weird invisible ghosts that are just kind of floating around the bathtub here. And then the candles relight and your vision is back to normal. And you look down into the tub as you're just kind of like trying to regain your bearings. And it's black and dark, kind of like the space you have been twice prior. And you see as you're staring into it deeply, there is the altar that you have seen twice. And you just hear a little voice in the back of your head that just says, "This is but a glimpse of what I can offer you in the future. I look forward to us meeting again." And back to your regular tub time.
I'm done with tub time. I'm getting up. I'm running back to the room, man.
You just sprint through the hallway naked.
I'm getting a towel off, but like
A dripping wet towel surrounded Imric just busts into the room.
Imric, who is stronger, me or Merin?
Who the? There is Dune is playing with my head, and I don't like him. He's giving me all these visions. He's making me see ghosts. He's changing my body. He's making me see hallucinations.
Are you sure that's not the fact that you have not slept for like 3 days?
It's there is Dune, Gene. He's literally talking to me right
no,
now
let's go.
in my head. He's saying he's going to kill me.
Can Mary just went into the bathroom and see what's up in there?
Yeah, you go into the bathroom and it looks exactly like how you left it before, bar there being like water all over the place and a couple of the candles have gone out from the splashes of him like hurriedly getting out. Everything looks exactly how it was when you left. A little darker
The
now,
mare-
obviously, but yeah.
The bath water looked like normal bath water?
Just
The
looks like
water-
regular bath water.
The water was pitch black, Marin. I promise it was pitch
If
black.
you come back and look in here, the water just looks like water again, Emmerich.
It was pitch black, and he was showing me visions in the water. This is God magic that we're dealing with. Of course, it doesn't look normal now. Oh my! We have a God against us. Like,
I mean, we still have one god for us, I think.
fucking Sandor. Sandor's not a god.
No, my god.
Your god? I don't. Who is your god, Gene?
Yeah, speaking of,
Fiction. I'm kidding. Jean like sort of hits her like between Cat Lady telling her today that like clerics wear their faith out on their sleeve, and you guys like asking. She's like, "Oh, that's just never come up. Like, was that a thing that I was supposed to have told you guys?" Like, it honestly never really hit her until this moment that she should have mentioned it. And like after a minute of just being like, the fuck, she's just gonna be like, Ball, of course.
who?
So
Ball?
both of you go ahead and roll me religion checks.
from the storybooks. I got 11.
Yeah,
And
8.
with Jean's 3, you guys will get
11.
more. Okay. You guys know, you don't know too much about them. Jean can provide as much as Jean wishes, but you both know Baal is also an evil god, also known as the Lord of Murder. So,
What the fuck, Gene?
I'm
Either
not
way.
going to lie. I sort of thought it was obvious.
No, Gene.
I did not and like she's gonna like pull out her like radar thing, and she's always held it with like the holy symbol part in her palm so that the like radar part was up, and like she turns it to the other side and it's got the symbol of ball with like the creepy skull and the blood drops all around it. And she's just like super matter of fact about it.
Gene, do you think Ball can save me from Tharizdun melting my intestines and making my eyes bleed and killing me?
I don't know. I've never asked him to. I mean, I did sort of have a moment of prayer to be like, hey, Ball, how do you feel about me working with this guy with Tharizdun? And he seems kind of like meh about it, like not against and not for, just
He
kind of like
likes Tharizdun?
he didn't seem like it was a problem when we were working with you, but he also didn't
Are
seem
you
like it was a
saying
problem when we fucked
Are
it
you
over
saying Ball
by
is a
joining
partner
Sonda.
of Tharizdun?
I
Are they
don't
working
think
together,
so.
Gene?
I don't think so. Just like, as I said, indifference was more of the vibe that I got. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the vibe I got of like it wasn't a problem to
Yeah,
be hanging out. It wasn't. It was neither a problem to be hanging out with the Tharizdun guy. It was also not a problem to fuck over Tharizdun by joining Sondor.
correct.
Was kind of yeah. So
That's the
like
vibe you got.
indifferent.
Yeah.
I do not think he is a partner. I think they just both are gods of.
We're gonna die, Gene.
Well,
There's
you
there's
are.
Dune. There's Dune is gonna melt my brain. And that'll be the end of me. He's already melting my brain. He's making me see stuff.
I'm not going to lie. I do think that there is an inevitable showdown between you and Tharizdun that is coming. I do not think you can do anything but accept that it is going to happen, and I think it is going to be worse the longer you take.
Just find a better guard before you go to bed next time.
Here's what the amulet looked like when Jean turned it around.
Ooh!
God damn.
Wait, who's wearing that?
Jean.
Oh shit.
That's mine!
Well, I'm gonna go to my room, guys. I will.
Did we all end up staying in one room, or is
I mean,
you-
you were all given your own rooms. You don't have to stay in them all like that, but you
Without invading your personal space, can I send Hawk to peck you awake as an alarm clock if you fall asleep?
Please do. Please do.
And I suppose Buddy could do the same thing, but
Buddy also likes to sleep.
we've already established that I've used Hawk as an alarm clock, so
Correct. An alarm
if
clock.
I can
Hawk would
just...
be perfect, Gene. Thank you so much.
All right.
Jean's not gonna be like, I'm gonna stare at you while you sleep, because that feels weird, but Jean also will gladly slap you in the face if you fall asleep.
I mean, if the goal for Imric is for him to stay awake, is it a better idea for us to be near him rather than leave him alone by himself?
Oh, I also think it would be better if we... But it seems like he kind of wants to storm off and have his own moment alone right now. But
I'm
it would be better if we were together.
I'm already gone.
Yeah, like he already left. He seemed like he wanted to storm off. If you would like to, I would support you in going and camping out in his room if we all wanted to.
No, honey, I died once before earlier today, so I'm more than
You
happy to
died
go to
once
bed.
today?
I got knocked unconscious by the
Oh.
fucking dragon.
No, you didn't die because I had to wake you the fuck up. I'm always waking you stupid boys up. Huh.
For the record, I think that's the only time I pass. I need to wake your ass up too.
It's true.
More than once.
I really
think.
enjoy the
See?
bickering like siblings vibe that we've gotten, and it brings me joy.
There you go.
Like Jean, I think Jean's gonna send the alarm clock, and she's gonna tell Hawk, like, if his eyes are closed for like more than like a minute, then like peck him. But also like if he starts like not reacting to the world and or like shaking or doing any other strange reactions to come get me. So like kind of just peck him awake if he's just mostly staying awake, but if anything's super weird, then call me over. Is what I'd like to communicate to my burb.
Your
Alright.
burp.
And then I'd like to sneak out and go see if I can mail my letter.
Yeah, you absolutely. Well, you have to make your way back to the camp, the outside of the city camp.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can certainly make your way back there to do that without much issue. You can get back there and you can make it to what you have now found out through walking back is called the Brim of Desolation. That's what they call their little.
Rim of Desolation.
Yeah, they call themselves
Okay.
the Brim of Desolation. But you can get back there. You drop off a letter with Warren, who is shockingly not asleep. He's got a big coffee pot beside him, and he just looks like he's coked out on
Hey,
coffee.
Warren, could you do me a favor and somehow get this letter to the place that I just came from that my brain is not filling in words right now?
Yes. Of course I can. Of course. I can do that. No problem at all.
It to be sent in like on the front it says like Orbital du Mal on it. Like she's gonna like folded it over in like a bad little envelope.
Oh yes, excellent. And you see he's saying for a solid 30 seconds, and then poof, a little bird just appears out of nowhere, and he takes your letter, ties it to the bird's foot, and says, "Go!" And whew, like the speed of light, this bird just flies out the tent. He goes, "I'll use this magical messenger I just made. It'll get there. It'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Do
Alright.
I owe you any money or high five or something?
I think the best you could offer would be a low five, because I'm pretty short."
Slap him in the ass.
But then he flies up high and goes, just kidding. High five. High five, Warren. He uses the 3rd level fly spell to be able to high five you and then flies back down.
More like a 3rd level
Wow.
high five.
Yeah.
Vibe check.
Vibe check. He's just coffeeed out. He's just wired on coffee. Alright, and you head back to the Black Narcissus after you give Warren your letter?
Yeah.
Alright. Imric went to his room in a huff. Jean went to mail a letter and they came back.
When Jean is like walking back to her room, I think she would see Imric walking out with a letter in hand, like just walking very briskly to Warren, or yeah, Warren, I guess too.
You eventually get to Warren. You see that, Jean, Imric has a letter.
Did
and
my
says-
bird not tell me that he was moving?
You asked it to tell you to keep
Yeah,
him
you're
awake.
right. You're right.
He's still awake. You didn't ask him to report. You just
Is
asked
that
it to
bird
keep
just
him-
like following him? Like
No, it assumes it's awake, and you just told him to be an alarm clock in the room. So, bird has
Oh, fair.
bird is doing to the letter what you told the bird to do. Be alarm
Yeah.
clock.
Stupid bird.
If you walk by Marin's room, you just probably just hear like storm of snoring.
Yep, snoring.
Hey, like, qu'est-ce que tu fais? What are you doing?
I'm sending a letter to my dad.
Oh, is that a what?
What?
Why? Pourquoi?
Because I don't know. Cause why not? People send letters.
Do they? Is that the thing that people do often? I know it's like so. Like, I mean, I just. Warren can do it for you. He's I think, unless he can't do it again, but he seems pretty powerful. I mean, do you
I'll
correspond with people? Do you get letters back from them?
I don't have friends, Jean. I don't talk to people.
Neither do I.
That's fantastic. We have each other, Jean. Thanks for being my friend.
Thank you for being a friend.
I'm still just walking to Warren.
I think Jean would have followed you back she's not gonna head back to the inn after she catches up with you. Partially because she doesn't want you to fall asleep or get turned into goo or something.
Wait, so you're following me?
I'm 100% following you.
Okay, perfect.
You eventually
Gene,
make
where's
it.
Warren?
You make it to Warren.
Warren?
Oh, hi. What?
Hey, Warren?
Hi.
Can you send letters? Do you know how I send letters?
He just looks over at Eugene. Why didn't you just bring 2 letters at one time? I could have just done this at the same time, all at one time.
I did not know he was going to. They're not going to the same place.
All right, yes.
This Umbral is my
What?
father, is your father, but
it's
that
fine.
seems weird.
He snaps his finger and another bird appears. All right, give it to me.
I need you to send it to Prolos Melodian in Voskian. He's some useless hermit out in the wastelands, okay?
Sorry, I'm copying that down. What was that? Prolos?
Prolos
Melodian?
Melodian
In where?
in
Gene would
Voskian.
clock it better than I did.
And Vasquez,
He's just in Voskian.
In
All
Vasquez,
right,
okay.
well, if we're going to Vasquez, you see that he kind of like takes his hands and like reshapes the bird a little bit, so now the bird looks like it's wearing armor. Off you go, and the bird goes. Whoosh.
Thank you, Warren. Good night.
All right, good night. And you guys
Have
both-
I ever heard you introduce yourself as Imric Melodian?
Probably not.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah.
The letter is sent. The 2 of you return back to the Black Narcissus, and upon your return, you see the gnome goes. Is that all for the evening? Can I lock up? Do you expect to do any more travels for the evening?
No.
I'm gonna look at Imric.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Excellent. You see, there's like 6 locks. This is not a 24-hour inn. This is a he locks up when he feels like it kind of place. And if you're not here, whatever. You paid for it. He's getting paid one way or the other. So he locks the place up. Place is secure. Dims the lights downstairs. You guys go to your rooms. Dim the lights in your rooms. Eventually fall asleep or not. But you do have the overnight to benefit from a long rest, and when you arrive at the morning of the next day, you will all be level 7, and we will pick up in 2 weeks.
What? Level 7?
Till then.